We do?
Yeah,
Well, that's why we gotta stop eating out. Eat at home.
yeah, but my friend invited me for lunch, so
I know, but when you come back for dinner, we eat at home, okay?
okay.
You know, from Joanne Carner to Julie Inkster to Betsy King to Pat Bradley, Patty Sheehan, Annika, Kari Webb. But, you know, when I think back of the last 14 years, a couple stand out. One,
Welcome to the live stream. All right, let me see if we got any people that want to do a double live. No.
You become professional TikToker.
Why?
Because you know how to talk with people, and you know the way to make followers follow you.
Yeah, yellow Bitcoin. Yellow Bitcoin, never sell. Hello. Welcome. Yo. Are you available for a double live? Mr. Kelly? I don't know if you can hear me. Can you hear me? Give me a yes or no if you can hear me. Okay, cool. All right, so we got someone that will be joining me, and we're going to do a double live. Okay. Yeah, so Mr. Kelly Winters is in the house. We're going to give him a second, and then we're going to do a dual live stream. Mentor me? Sure. What questions do you have? Andrew Sawyer 08. Do I smell tendies? Thank you. I appreciate it. I really do appreciate that, man. I'm glad you like my content, guys. I do it for the people. I do it for you guys. And my goal is to not be a sellout. Because I know most content creators, they sell out and then they start selling you like McDonald's ads and, you know, start pushing products that are not necessarily good for you. So here we go. They want to know. The people want to know. Did you get an Interactive Brokers yet or no?
No,
Not yet.
I was out
Maybe
last
you
night,
could explain
but
it.
I'll get into it eventually. Huh?
You can explain it. Someone's like, how do you borrow 66,000 a month and only pay 36 a month back? You want to explain how Interactive Brokers margin works? Do you understand, or is it still kind of confusing?
Yeah, I do understand, but it's better if you explain it because that's your area of expertise.
Okay, so you first have to understand what a margin loan is. Can you explain that? Yeah, exactly. Borrow against your stock holdings. That's basically what a margin loan is. So that's good. And by the way, I appreciate people that leave comments because, like, you know, I can't necessarily answer every question. But okay, so step one, so let me ask you, Kelly, are you using any kind of margin debt right now, or no, you just buy everything cash?
Nope. Buy everything straight and then sell it straight. But I keep getting this funny feeling that keep in mind that with crypto, I've been watching crypto for 3 or 4 years, so I have way more knowledge in crypto than I do with stocks. I keep getting this funny feeling that I'm leaving money on the table by not doing calls and puts. So I will eventually be studying tomorrow and seeing if I can kind of squeeze out a few extra, 100, maybe a few extra thousand here and there. But for the most part, I usually try to find when it's dip, I dollar cost average down. And then, once E-Trade will usually tell you, like, it'll do the math for you and say, your average that you paid for X amount of stocks is like, $5, $10, $20. And then from there, I kind of speculate, wait for the boom or the wave, whatever you want to call it. And then, at the tip of the tidal wave, at the very tippy top, I'll usually try to speculate where that is, because obviously we won't know, unless you have a tool which will kind of give you a more accurate idea of, where the tippy top is, and or where the apex is, I guess, if you want to use a correct terminology. And then try to sell up from there. And then that's kind of how I do it. It's not the most efficient, but it's kind of what I'm doing right now. You know what I mean? It'll get better eventually.
So maybe we could do a discussion for today why I prefer margin over options trading. So maybe we can talk
I'd like
about
to hear
that.
that.
So I can
Yes,
try
I'd
to
like
convince
to
you.
hear.
And once again, this is great because you're going to do your own research and you're going to form your own opinion. So I could be technically wrong. By the way, say hi to the Chinese dictator, Annie.
Annie, are you okay?
Annie,
Annie,
are
are
you
you
okay?
okay? Are you okay, Annie?
But okay, so this is a great discussion we're going to have. Why I don't do options trading and I prefer to do margin, because with options, you can't borrow on those contracts, right? And a lot of the options you're not going to want to hold for more than a year, right? Like most
That is
options
true.
you're holding for maybe 60 days, 90 days, and then you're printing tendies. I love that comment. Someone was like, so that's my one issue with options is it's harder to hold them longer, and you can't borrow on your options. You can borrow on your
Nope.
stock. You cannot borrow on your options.
There
And
you
then
go.
you said you like crypto, right? So for me,
Mm-hmm.
if I had $100,000 of options, I can't pull any cash out of it. I have to hold it. But if I had hundred
You're
thousand
right.
dollars of stock, I can pull out $50,000 for less than $500 a year, which would be what, like $50 a month, right? It would be less than
Yeah.
$50 a month, right?
Yeah. Less than
And
50,
then I
somewhere
can go
between
buy
45.
crypto. You can't use your options as collateral to go buy crypto, but you
Nope.
can use your stocks. So have I convinced you a little bit, or you're still going to do some research? You still got to try it because you've never done any
I'm
kind of
still
margin, right?
yeah, I'm still gonna do my research as to how to do it. But I have not done any margin trading. No.
How much do
I
you
usually straight buys, straight sells.
How much do you currently? Okay, let's just do a hypothetical. So let's just say you have $10,000 of stock. I'm not telling you to pull out $5,000 and go buy,
Mm-hmm.
crypto. But I think
Yeah.
everyone here, because the minimum is 2,000, right? If you have $2,000 of stock, go and just pull out $100, $200, and go
Right.
buy your favorite crypto. Or let me
Mm-hmm.
change the screen. You can put in that US dollar coin, and then it pays for your debt, right?
Yeah, it's reallocating assets is definitely a part of the game. So yes, or reallocating your funds.
So, because I want you to be a teacher and I want you to be able to answer these questions and have experience, when are you gonna get your interactive? Do you have a Robinhood or do you have interactive brokers?
I have a Robinhood. Yes, I do have
Why don't you just
Robinhood,
do
and like I
Robinhood
said,
Gold? How much do you have stocks on your Robinhood?
Robinhood. I have no stocks in my Robinhood. All my stocks are in E-Trade. All I have in
Okay.
Robinhood is Dogecoin. Yeah, and it's like $5 or $8 a Dogecoin. That's
Okay.
it.
Yeah,
But
just get
for
an
the most
interactive
part, I use
brokers. Get an interactive
yeah.
broker and make it a goal. I don't know if you're super bullish on crypto, but if you can, try to get to
Mhm.
2 Bs. And then everyone here, give him a follow because like I'm not going to be available, and I obviously get like a lot of comments that I can't respond to.
Yeah,
And I'm telling you, this
yeah.
guy, or I got to point this way, he's going to be like my what is it? I guess you could say Padawan. Padawan.
Padawan. Yeah, you said Padawan. I'm
Yeah.
down.
And then, by the
I'm
way, if
always
you
down.
have questions and I don't answer it right away, you can go into his live stream and you can also ask him. But here, I'm going to go ahead and ask you some of these questions and maybe where do you get the loans? Which financial institutions?
You go through interactive brokers and Robinhood primarily, and you have to hit a certain balance in order to get those loans. The balance is about $2,000.
Yep.
From there, they'll
Stocks,
allow you to
though.
borrow in.
You can't
Yeah, for
borrow.
stocks.
You can't borrow on your. This is why I want everyone to learn because you cannot
Yeah,
borrow on your crypto. And if you buy two thousand
right,
dollars of AMC, they don't lend you any money. So what it does
right,
is it encourages you to hold long, high quality stocks long term.
right.
So like in a way, it conditions you to become less of a gambler and more of a
Hmm.
long term investor because you're going to get really good loan terms if you own Amazon, Apple, like the boring stocks, but you're going to get really
Right,
bad loan terms if you want to speculate and do like CCIV or like, some new hot SPAC.
right. And then you'd borrow at a percent of anywhere between 1 and 5. It's usually anywhere between, I think for your app specifically, it's between 1 and 3%.
Yeah, Robinhood is 2.5%. Interactive
Hmm.
Brokers is 1%. If you have more than 100 grand, it's 1.5%.
And then you use a third app that's at 2%. I forget what that one is.
M1 Finance. M1 Finance.
M1 Finance.
Yeah,
M1
yeah, M1 Finance.
Finance.
If
Okay.
you click on my profile link, I have links to literally every broker and crypto exchange I use. So, and I recommend if you want to get on my level, you literally I have over 12 exchanges and I literally have
Hmm.
12 different brokerages on my apps. And
Right.
okay, see you later, Annie.
Like
Annie's,
literal shit ton, bro. Literal shit ton.
yeah. But it's the
So
best
yeah,
way to learn.
for
It's the best way to
yeah,
learn.
for
So for
right now,
you,
yeah,
how
yeah.
many apps do you have? How many
I'm
brokers?
definitely gonna do my research before tomorrow. I think tomorrow is Sundays are usually my homework days, so that's when I'll be doing it. Is tomorrow. For now, pretty much all I'm handling is Coinbase Pro, Coinbase, Bittrex, KuCoin, E-Trade, and Robinhood, and I'm very heavy on the other five, with Robinhood being very small, obviously.
Yeah. So, and you're what, like 90% crypto, 10% stocks?
Hmm. I would say like 75% crypto, 25% stocks is a more accurate, or even 80% crypto, 20% stocks is a more accurate idea of what's going on. I think it's around, like altogether, it's around just 10K. So it's like I think I have 1,500 to 2 grand worth of stocks, and then all the rest is crypto.
By the way, so people want to know if you can pull cash out into your bank account with these loans. So what if you go the Interactive Brokers route or the Robinhood route, if you can create a TikTok maybe showing how you transfer the money into cash and then you use that cash
Hmm.
to buy crypto or whatever, because a lot of people don't realize
Right.
that you can take the cash out and you don't have to sell your
Right.
stocks.
Right.
And so I have another question. So if I use Robinhood, it's basically where I have my stocks, Webull, TD, the same. Yeah, yeah. So basically, they're all the same. It's just Webull charges you like 6 to 8% to borrow, and I don't know what
Yeah.
TD charges. You can Google,
Right.
but I'm like the main thing is you don't want to be in debt if it's more than 3%.
Right. And I want to add that the same way that the vast majority of kind of hype influencers feel about Robinhood is kind of the way I feel they should direct that energy toward Webull, because Robinhood is actually, like I said, it's really for intermediates to I wouldn't say experts, but it's for intermediates and up. And so, but they have a tendency to market their interface because it's so smooth, so clean, and so easy to read. They have a tendency to market it towards newcomers. So, Robinhood is getting a lot of unfair backlash, in my opinion, that Webull should be getting. You know what I mean? I wouldn't say Webull is trash, but if we had to create a list of preferred apps to use, I'd definitely put Webull at the very bottom. You know what I
I
mean?
agree, man. I agree. So no, you're 100% right on that. So one thing people also need to be careful about is the influencers on TikTok. I wanted to bring this up. So I just saw an influencer promote Turo. Have you heard of Turo?
eToro.
Yeah. No,
Yeah,
no,
I've
no,
heard of
no.
it.
Turo,
Haven't
where you rent cars. Where you rent cars.
Oh, Toro. Yeah. I actually hold on. So the quick story, I had a situation in Arizona back when I lived there. About 5 years ago, I was looking for ways to get extra cash. But yeah, the same way that you were talking about the liability that comes with basically renting your own POV out, which is your personal vehicle. Yeah, I had the same issue. I was like, bro, if somebody takes, my vehicle, even let's say I had 2 or 3 vehicles, let's say I had a fleet of maybe 10 to 20 vehicles, because that's what they call them. For those of you who don't know, it's like a fleet. Like if you have limousines or taxis, they're called a fleet. So say I had 10 vehicles and I loan one out and somebody fucking wrecks it. You know what I mean? I could be they Toro talks about how they have insurance and a lot of these guys, but they have an entire team dedicated to investigating and making sure that you get little to nothing back if somebody wrecks your shit. So the moment I started doing my research and realized that that's an extreme possibility, I was like, this is way riskier than crypto, way riskier than stocks, way riskier than anything, especially if you're renting to somebody under the age of 25 because that responsibility level just isn't there.
Yeah.
They don't really care. And you know what I mean? So it's pretty much the insurance companies versus you, and then you versus the person who wrecks your vehicles. So I mean, like I said, if you're the type of person who the vast majority of your investments is in vehicles and you do have fleets of vehicles, then that might be something that you want to explore. But for me, a regular person just thinking to myself, oh, well, I need 500 here, an extra 1,000 here, an extra 1,500 here. Absolutely the fuck not.
Yeah.
So, like,
So give me 1 second. They have some questions. So if you're new to Interactive Brokers, do the light version. You can switch to pro later on when you understand what you're doing. So if you're a complete newbie, do Interactive Brokers Lite. And then once you figure out the app, you can go to the higher ones. And then the one thing I wanted to tell you is like, I can understand if you have a car, you own cash and there's no debt. And let's just say it's a $4,000 car. Okay, you put that on Turo, that's fine. The problem is this TikTok
yeah,
influencer was like, hey, go get a lease for a $40,000, $50,000 car and put it on Turo. And it's like, bro, like at least tell people that Turo's paying you. Like at least tell people
right.
that you're making money.
And not only that, you're leasing the vehicle that you don't even own it. You know what I mean? So if they wreck it or something goes wrong, you're screwed.
Like basically it's preying on young people that have decent credit because like a young person can definitely qualify for that $40,000,
Right,
$50,000 lease. But you know, if something goes wrong, they don't have money. Like if you have three cars,
right,
four cars, and one of your cars gets wrecked, whatever, you got three cars that are still on the fleet
right.
making money.
But
But yeah,
but
man.
most of the people staring at it only have their one vehicle. You know what I mean? And they're
And if it's a
thinking,
four
man, this is gonna
thousand
be a smooth.
dollar, if it's a $4,000 vehicle, that's fine. But a $40,000 one you don't own, you're in debt.
Yeah,
So
it's too risky.
there's other TikTok scams.
It's worse. It's way worse than gambling. You know what I'm saying? People say gambling's bad, but
Well,
Jesus,
no, but
yeah.
you do get a tax write-off if you actually know what you're doing. And I don't feel like a lot of people know that. But yeah, if you do the Turo business and you actually pay like a tax professional, you get tax write-offs. But once again, like a lot
Hmm.
of people don't even know how to do it, so they don't get that benefit. But yeah, with gambling, you don't even get the tax write-off.
Right.
Another scam I want to talk about, and maybe you've seen this. There's so many scams, and I'm glad we can do this. This is going to be like a scam talk. The helium miner.
Hmm.
Have you seen that? Like everyone pushing their helium
Yeah.
miners?
Yeah.
And it's the best business. I know so many
Yeah.
people that have bought helium miners. So they've given money to the
Right.
people that create the miners. I don't know anyone that
Hmm.
uses the helium network. Like, does
Right. That's
helium
what I
make
was gonna
money
say. You said
from,
that their software isn't the best, right?
well, it's just funny. It's like, I know like maybe now through TikTok, I probably know at least 30 people that have spent like $1,000 on helium miners. But I have
Right.
yet to find someone who's actually using the network. That's a great
It's
pyramid
just
scheme.
yeah, it is kind of insane. Not only that, I'm almost certain that you could build a lot of these miners yourself, like for significantly cheaper. So that's also another thing that I was thinking about. I kind of played with the idea in my head of getting miners. But one, they use. I'm not in a position to really just drive up my electric bill right now. Even if I were to say, yo, you know what I mean, I'll just throw an extra what 200-300 in every month. Like I wouldn't be, I would not be in a position to what is it just kind of jump into that aspect. But you can build a lot of them by yourself for significantly cheaper. I've never understood why people don't talk more about that on TikTok. You get what I'm
Because
saying? If you buy the
because
components.
the people that create the miners, they hire TikTok influencers. Like my inbox is full of people. Like literally, once you hit over, I want to say 25,000 followers. Like people don't realize this, but once you hit over 25,000 followers, you get tons of messages of people that are running scams, and they know that like
Right.
this is a great platform because like a lot of people trust their TikTok influencers, and people that are smart are buying them. They're buying the sellouts,
Right.
and that's why it's like you got to be really really careful and just be like, okay, is this a sponsored idea? Like who's
Right.
paying you to say this? But I
Right.
also I want to give credit to what the million so he was like talking about, the poor millionaire was talking about getting a car at a car auction and then doing Turo, like something like that is a good hustle. Like
Hmm.
if you're buying an underappreciated asset, and then you're renting it out. But going and
Right.
getting a $40,000 lease from a dealership, man, like I
It's a little
love this
sketch.
quote: "Scared money don't
Yeah,
make
you're
money." But you got to be smart when you're gonna do your,
right.
like, and ideally, you're not getting it from a TikTok influencer who's being paid by, a
Yeah,
party to
you're
run a scam.
right.
So I don't know. You just got to be careful, man. There's a lot of scams out there, and I'm just trying to promote like legit ways to make money, and it's not like you're gonna make crazy money. Getting 9% on your dollar isn't crazy money, but it's like
Mm,
it's safe, or it's much safer than buying, going and getting a $40,000 lease. So
right.
I don't know, man. It just really bothers me when I see people are like, is Interactive Brokers a scam? It's a publicly traded company and it's regulated by the
No,
SEC.
yeah. Like what? Yeah, it's US based, and so it has to be regulated by the SEC, just like what is it, Coinbase Pro,
Coinbase.
and
Coinbase.
Coinbase, right? Coinbase period. You
Yeah.
get what I'm saying? Once they're in the US, they have to be
Yeah.
regulated, and once they're regulated, you're gonna have way less instances of scams, theft, hacking,
Especially
all that
when it's
good stuff.
publicly traded. Because there's a big difference. If
Right,
it's a private company, they can hide their books, right? They can hide everything,
right,
and you can actually run, like, Bernie Madoff's was able to run a Ponzi scheme because it wasn't technically like a publicly traded. It was like a closed money fund, right? So there are scams you can run, but when it's public where you can buy their stock, that means all their accounting is open, and unless they
right.
have
I was
like
gonna
an
say
Enron.
somebody can watch their books.
Exactly. And because of the Enron scandal, it's really hard now for a publicly traded company, because Enron was like 2003, right?
Yeah, 2004, 2003 ish. It's kind of funny that you mentioned that. One of my favorite movies is Fun with Dick and Jane with Jim Carrey, and they talk. The entire movie is based on that Enron scandal. You get what I'm saying? And so many people got screwed, and that what was it? They were ripping off people's 401ks, and it was a mess. Or doing high speculation gambling with people's investment money. That was an absolute shamble.
And so people are still confused on where to find the link for Interactive Brokers. I mean, you can Google it, or you can just click on
Right.
my
Or just
profile.
go to Google Play or go to the App Store and type in Interactive Brokers. This is
Yeah.
right. This is
But use my
let's
referral link. But if I use my referral
yeah,
link, I
there you
get, like,
go.
I don't even know what they pay, but I do have a referral link if you guys want to use it. It's on my profile. I
Hold on
might
one
have to
second.
pull up the whiteboard. He's thing. All right, I'm gonna pull up my referral link for Interactive Brokers if you guys want the link. Hold on one sec. So there's my referral link. You can use either one of them. How is everyone?
But yeah, I'm back.
Oh, okay. To earn the 9%, you want to get a Voyager digital. And by the way, you're not going to really like understand all of this in one day. So I feel like if you keep following, you'll eventually figure it out. But to get
But I
9%
I
on your
want to
US dollar, you have to go to Voyager. You download the app, and if you want to test it out, you just put $100 in. They'll give you $25 of Bitcoin, and your $100 will collect 9%. And obviously, you can increase it to get more. And then just make sure you
right,
type
and
in
I
my referral code CIN849, and you get the $25 of free Bitcoin.
Right. And I also want to add that not only are we limited to certain exchanges in the United States, not just the Northeast, I want to say that, if you want higher staking percentages, you simply need to do your diligence. Not you specifically, Dean, but all the people that are commenting on you that I can't see. You need to do your due diligence and Google which wallets or which exchanges give you the highest value for your coin. So there's going to be all kind of different staking percentages for Cardano, XRP, Bitcoin, Ethereum, even DeFi token Hydra that I mentioned, and or even what is it, what's it called, the Pancake Swap token, Sunday Swap, all those little tokens. There's all of these different exchanges offer different staking percentages. So, and for the time being, keep in mind that most of the stuff is decentralized. So you will have to flip open different websites and have different apps. A lot of people have a tendency to try to centralize all of their tokens and just what's the best app to use for. No, there's a bunch of them. You know what I mean? So you're gonna have to have like 3, 6, 9, 12 different apps.
But you take less
You know what I
risk
mean? If you want.
because there are staking pools that get hacked and then you lose all your money.
Right.
Like, so
Right.
if you want to take as little risk as possible, I can confirm because I actually have people I bought real estate with that are like worth hundreds of millions of dollars. And so I can confirm that I have an investor that has $1 million in BlockFi and also has $1 million in Voyager, and they're paying
Voyager.
out like they're paying out monthly hit on his $1 million. So,
Right. Right.
and if
Right.
he's, and it was pretty crazy that he was willing to do it, but he showed me his bank account. He had $3.5 million in Wells Fargo and he was getting zero. And I was just like, all right,
Mhm.
let's do in the beginning, he started with 100 grand each. So he did 100 grand in
Right.
Voyager, 100 grand in BlockFi. And then literally every
Mhm.
month he collects the interest, he puts in more money. And he finally
Yeah.
got into putting $1 million in both BlockFi and Voyager. Should
Yeah.
I
Which
use my
leads us into.
margin to buy a car for Turo? Yes, if you do what the poor millionaire does. You go to a car auction and you get like a really good deal on a car and you buy it cash with your margin debt and then you start a business. Yeah, that's fine. I think that's a smart way to do it. So, but if you're buying a car on lease, you're getting the worst price. And they right now charge you because there's like a backlog. Like it's right now the worst time to lease a car because they know that there's an inventory shortage. You don't even get any of like the benefits of like, they have rebates and credits and stuff like that. So they totally rip you off. So let me ask you this, because you've done a lot more staking than me, I feel like, right? You've
Mhm.
done a lot more
Mhm.
staking, right? Have you done Pancake Swap and all that stuff?
Pancake swap, no. DeFi token, yes. Hydra, yes.
Okay, and you've
And
been paid out, right?
what is it?
You've been
Huh?
paid out, no issues, no, you haven't got hacked, right? You haven't lost anything yet.
Nope. Keep in
Tell me
mind that
about.
it's not so much a daily it's not so much a payout, it's more so much you receive a daily award. So if you go into KuCoin and you click the bottom right tab which says assets, there's going to be a bunch of tabs at the top and one of them to the furthest right says Pool X. Pool X is where you can stake your DeFi token and your Hydra. And keep in mind that with the DeFi token, it's soft staking, meaning you get an award every single day for simply holding a balance of DeFi token. With Hydra, you hard stake it, which means you can either lock it up or not. When you lock it up, it means that you won't be able to touch the money in there, but you're getting the highest interest rate possible, which is anywhere between 110 to 180% return.
Wow,
So that's pretty,
wow.
yeah. So that's pretty
By
much
the
like
way,
they're
follow
matching you
him.
coin for
I
coin.
just, I just want to make this clear, you guys. Like, I do not do this stuff. Like, I literally keep most of my
Yep.
money on the exchanges. So if you want to go down that rabbit hole and learn, definitely give him a follow because once again, like, I'm not doing this stuff. I haven't gone down that rabbit hole. And he's right because like people like me, I'm just lazy. I'm happy to keep my money on the exchanges. There's money to be made. Like there's money to be made. You're
And
risking, but so far you haven't gotten scammed, right? Every one of your.
nope, nope, nope. Keep in mind that the safest exchanges we between the both of us we've already mentioned them. Coinbase Pro, Coinbase, Voyager, and what was the other one that you use?
BlockFi. You should try it,
What
man. You should get a
BlockFi,
BlockFi and
right?
try it.
Underneath that comes KuCoin and Bitmart and things of that nature. Coinbase, I think, has only had what in their entire existence, they've only had one quote unquote major hack, and they were able to get everyone's money back. KuCoin has had one, and that was about 3 years ago, and it hasn't happened since. What I mean? There is a certain level of risk when it comes to all of these exchanges. Voyager has had a hack issue in the past.
So
Not sure about BlockFi, but
someone's asking
for the
about
most part,
Australia. And I think you could do KuCoin on Australia, right? And then you probably can do
yeah,
Binance, right? KuCoin and
yes,
Binance.
yep.
Yeah. So once again, if you have questions like this, especially for the staking, go on his live stream and ask him the question because I mean I can ask him the question, but it's easier if he sees it while he's talking, so I don't have to interrupt him.
Yeah,
So
no worries, no worries. Staking. What else do I also have to say about staking? Oh yeah, I was gonna say, through KuCoin, they also have random rewards for holding the top 25 coins. So the other day, I know that there is a little tab. When you go into the Pool X tab that I mentioned in KuCoin, there's a little tab that'll tell you whether you can soft stake or hard stake a coin. With VET, for those of you who don't know, the VET token, um, there is no little tab that tells you whether or not you can soft stake or hard stake it, but KuCoin will randomly reward you with VTHO, which is the I believe the token for the VET ecosystem. They'll randomly reward you with VTHO for holding a balance of VET. So I think I have like 4,000 VET tokens in there. Not much. I want to pump that up to about 10,000 within the next few months. But randomly, I would go to the main section of my account and find, half, point five or X amount of VTHO randomly rewarded. So KuCoin does these random rewards. If you do a little bit of digging through their app, you can find an entire list of things that they will randomly reward you with, and there's sweepstakes, and I find it more inviting and a bit easier because with Coinbase you have to do a little bit of homework before they give you your free rewards. You know what I mean? You kind of have to watch these videos and answer questions, and you have to get the questions correctly in order to get, I think I got like, I don't know, $5-10 worth of Matic for free the other day. Um, just by going through Coinbase. But I was like, damn, bro, I don't put my money in here to do homework. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, KuCoin. I'm all about it. I'm all about it.
So these are some good questions, and once again, I would appreciate if you go in the other because they're asking if you stake on Coinbase. You're gonna have to go into his live stream and ask him the question, but I'll go ahead and ask. So he's staking for Ethereum 2, and he's asking for the release date. That's supposed to be in 2022 to 2024.
Right,
So yeah, they pay
right,
you like 6 or 7% on your Ethereum, but it's locked up. You can't touch it for like
right.
basically two to 4 years.
Couple years, yeah. And once again, just in case that scares anyone off, I want to tell you that with this crypto stuff, it's going to take a while for people to get on all this software, all these ledgers, all these different exchanges, the different blockchains. And when I say that, I mean the various industries. It's going to take them a little while to incorporate all those things into their companies. So, with crypto, for the most part, we are playing the long game. You get what I'm saying? So you will need to wait anywhere between 9 months to 5 years before you yield a massive return on your cryptocurrency, unless you have a big bank and you're like, all right, I'll buy a bunch of coins at 10 cents, maybe like a million coins at 10 cents, and then when it goes to 50, I'll get out. That's kind of more short-term
You
play. But for the most part, the crypto community understands the long game, and that's kind of what we're doing here, is playing the long game.
Do you have a referral link for KuCoin? Because he's gonna go. One of my guys is gonna go look at KuCoin. Do you have a referral link or no?
I can pull it, but
Yeah,
that'll
put it on your
be,
profile. Like I have one on my profile, but for the
yeah.
future, especially if you have the accounts, I don't mind if people just use your referral link instead. So put
Mhm.
put one up on your profile or create a link tree with all of your exchanges so you can get the referral. But yeah, I mean, if you can, you can use my referral code. You just click on my profile, and then I'm gonna try to encourage everyone else who's like a smaller content creator, get your own referral links, and I'll have people sign up with you, because I don't really need the sign up as much. So okay, I think he's pulling up his link. By the way, Jolly, are you available to do a double live? I haven't done a double live with you for a while, so I don't know if you're.
Lo and behold, I just found it. I just found the
Just put it
referral
on
code.
your
Hold on, let
profile.
me
You
see.
might have to leave the live stream, but just put it on your profile link.
Hold on, how do I do that? Yeah, I would have to. Wait, no. Let me
You're,
see
you're
if I
gonna
could
want to
just
put it on
post
your
my
profile, but you're gonna want to
thing.
create a link tree.
Hold
And
on,
if you
I'll be
don't mind,
right back.
I'm gonna do a double live with Jolly,
Yeah,
but people can jump on your profile, and then I would highly recommend for all your exchanges, create a link tree and just have links, and that way,
yeah,
people, and then you can also help them out. If they have any questions, they can just DM you directly. Since they use your referral link, that means you have to
yeah,
ask him the questions, not me.
yeah.
I'm
For
not bound to
sure,
you
for
anymore.
sure, for sure.
But okay, cool. I'm gonna do a double live with Jolly. So
All right.
I'll let
See
you
ya.
go. We'll talk crypto again. And then, by the way, if you have questions, I'm not on TikTok all the time, so hit
Hmm.
him up and you
I'll
can ask
DM you.
him questions, and he can help you out. He'll give you like way.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna reset my volume really quick. Hold on, guys. All right, let me know if you guys can hear me. All right, can you guys hear me? Oh, what's up, Party Finance? All right, 1 second. I'm gonna grab my green tea. Hold on 1 sec. Okay, cool. Yeah, so I think what I'm gonna try to do, because I obviously love all the free referrals I've been getting, but I get too many people asking me questions. So I'm gonna try to find other content. I'm gonna try to find other content creators that like I trust, and I'm gonna start trying to push them to like help. Like they'll give you the referral link, and you can sign up with them, and then that way they have to help you out because they make the $25 of Bitcoin. So yeah, but okay, let me know, Jolly, if you're available to do the duel live. And then what's up, Party Finance? What are you up to? And I need to do a double live with you, Crypto Denmark. It's good to see. Okay, there we go.
What's up?
I
How
love
are
your
you?
background. Hey, so did you hear that? Like, I feel like a lot of people have questions and I can't necessarily always get back to them. So what I want to do is encourage my other like people that I obviously live stream a lot with to kind of like help
Mm-hmm.
mentor people, people that are like new and like they want to figure out, how to get into cryptos and stocks. Oh, he's heading to the airport. So, and then yeah, have you considered using your referral links and like setting up a link tree? Because like I get a ton of signups and it's like I don't need it, huh?
I'm working on that. For
Oh, you are?
Voyager?
Okay. Yeah, you can do Voyager. There's one for Blockify. There's one for KuCoin, and that way, like like because like I would love to help people out, but I feel like there's other smaller creators that that you can also help them out when I'm not when I'm not on.
Well, actually, the funny part is last night, like at 3:30 this morning, I was awake with ASAP. I know he's always ASAP LaFlame, and he's like my moderator now. He's in your lives a lot. And
Okay.
literally, I wanted to talk about crypto. I wanted to talk about Elon tweeting, and everyone's like, crickets. I was like, come on, guys, let's talk about this. Do we dump more money into Doge and see what happens? So I did do that. I don't know. Maybe
Mhm.
not the best move right now.
I mean, no one ever
So
knows.
yeah,
So it's just, I still feel like with investing, it's like, it's all about an experience game. So it's just like, you try it out. Some things work, some things don't work. But, the main thing is you're trying because if you do nothing or if you just go buy like a Louis Vuitton bag, you're not going to learn anything. So sometimes you got to lose money to make money.
I was saying scared money don't make money. The
Yeah,
gambling term.
that's a great quote. And just make sure if you are an investor and you're losing like more than 3,000 that you get a tax guy and you report it on your tax returns. You get a write off. And then Kelly is saying I've bashed
But you don't get
Elon
a write off.
and go ahead. What were you saying?
You don't get a write off until like the following year, right? Because it's only three
No,
thousand
you
per
got
year.
year. No, that's year. So you can get the max write off you get is $3,000. So let's just say I lost $5,000, right? You can only deduct 3,000 on your personal tax return, but that $2,000 rolls over and you can use it into infinity. So let's just say I lose $100,000 investing, right? That means I get 3,000 every year until I get to the 100,000. But let's just say while I'm investing, I find an investment that makes me 50 grand, right? Now I don't have to pay taxes on that $50,000 investment because I reported a $100,000 loss. So that's why it's really
Gotcha.
important that you guys understand how the taxes work. So it's okay to lose $10,000 or $20,000 investing because that means for the rest of your life you have a tax deduction until you make that money back.
Oh, that's awesome.
So here's a question.
It's
If I
good to know.
borrow from Interactive Brokers, do I have to hold the stocks there? Yeah, you do. That's how you get the loan. You have to have stocks in there. Yeah, you can carry on that tax. Yeah, thanks for the information. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, make sure you follow people that talk about taxes too, because that's like half of investing is also just like figuring out how you can, you know, not give it to the government.
Yeah. So one of my biggest questions is, since all of my stocks are in my personal name, how do I switch it over to an LLC?
You can't. So what you would do is you would start your LLC, and then if you want, you could take your personal stocks and borrow on your personal stocks, and then use that money to your LLC. You could fund it to your LLC, and then your LLC will buy those new stocks. And by the way, she brought up something really cool. If you have an actual investing business or LLC, dude, it's next level with tax deductions. Your rent becomes tax deductible. Your like computer, your like travel, so there's actually a lot of benefits to setting up a company that's like a professional like investing company because then you can go like ham on the tax write-offs. And if you let's just say with your LLC, you actually lose 10 grand, you get the full deduction. You don't have to deal with this 3,000, 3,000, 3,000. So yeah, if you're doing, but I would say you have
Okay.
to do big money. Like I would say once you're investing more than like 10 or 20 grand, then you would go down that LLC route and then just make sure you use all your tax benefits because you're going to have to pay like extra fees for, being an LLC.
Oh, really? Okay. So that's
Yeah. Your
something good
phone's
to keep in
blowing up.
mind.
I keep hearing those things. Is that your
Yeah.
phone?
Okay. I'm sorry. Like both. that it's like both phones. Hold on. Yeah. I have stocks. So on my messenger, I'm part of two groups. One's a stock group, and the other one's a crypto talk group. And then I'm also on a thread on my text messages. So everyone's going AWOL. They're like AMC, yada yada yada. I mean, I wanted to add you. I don't know if you have Facebook that you want to be added, but I mean, it goes off all night,
Yeah,
all
no,
day.
I'm good. I'm
Because you
already
could
on
tell.
enough groups. But people want me to talk about the Interactive Brokers loan. Did you see my TikTok on that or no?
Yeah, let's do that. Sure. I didn't see possibly
So I'm able to right
the one
now
that
to
you posted
borrow.
today.
I've been able to borrow basically $66,000, and my interest on my $66,000 is $36 a month. But for me to get that good loan, you first have to have more than $100,000 in stocks, and you have to have an Interactive Broker Pro. Because if you start out with light, I recommend everyone starts out with light. It's 2.5%. When you switch it to like the pro, it's 1.5%. And then when you get it to like 100 grand, if you have more than $100,000, it becomes 1%. And if you're borrowing $66,000, your monthly payment is 36. At 1%, it's $36 a month.
So they're charging you 36, but you're still getting paid on the interest on it. Correct.
Yeah, they're charging me $36 to borrow $66,000. And then like
Hmm.
all I have to do, I do the math. I have to just put in $5,000 into the US dollar coin and I get my $36 back. So literally I can
There you
borrow,
go.
what is that? 60 grand. It's like almost borrowing 60 grand for free.
That is definitely a win-win. And
Yeah.
see, that's kind of like what I'm trying to figure out now. Where I'm at, it's like I have stocks over here, crypto over there, and I'm like trying to consolidate. And I think I talked to you about that last 2 weeks ago. I was like, yeah, I just want to sell everything. But if I'm going to go down that hole, like that rabbit hole, I'm going to try to switch it over to an LLC for sure, so I can, mitigate any
So
taxes.
the reason I recommend a light account when you start out is there's no fees, and there's also no fees with Interactive Brokers once you have over 100 grand on the pro account. The light account, there's no fees. It's 2.5 grand, and so it's still a pretty good deal because like let's just say you're borrowing $10,000, right? So if you're borrowing $10,000, it's $250 of interest, but you divide it by 12, so you're paying like $20, $20 a month. So it's still like pretty good deal.
It's not bad at all. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. This
Not
question, I
bad.
want you to answer it. I like these questions. I like to ask my, my people. Beginner, where would you put your first couple grand into? What would you say, Jolly?
I would say I would split it up between tech, um, cannabis,
Love
any
cannabis.
hype coins. Hype coins seem to just, or stocks or anything hype right now. It's like put it in there for 2 days and take it back out. I don't know. That's what I'd do. I'd play around with the market and
But you're
see.
not
I mean, I
able.
had a friend.
The reason
Say again.
I encourage people to get the Interactive Brokers is once you get it, you'll realize you can't borrow on those hype stocks. So for me to get that $66,000 loan, it's because I have more than 100 grand of like high quality stocks. If I had 100 grand of AMC, Interactive Brokers won't lend. So like in a way, if you go down this rabbit hole, I'm going to actually force you to buy high quality stocks because the more you are able to borrow, the more you realize that the only way you're able to borrow is high quality. Your phone's blowing up.
I am so sorry. Everyone's calling me like right now. Everyone's like, "Oh, she must be live. Let's call her." Hold on. Hi, I'm live right now with Cinity. You should come check us out on
TikTok, come on our
TikTok.
live stream.
I'll send it to you. Yeah, come to our live. I'll send you the link.
There you
All
go.
right, bye. Everyone's like, she's live. So, actually, I saw that quote from Elon today, which was pretty neat. He was
What was
just
the
sorry.
quote?
I'm a big
Can
fan,
you
but he's
give
just like,
everyone the recap? Explain to everyone what happened.
I think that he posted that today. No, the one where he's like, it's like basically crazy that you can sell things that you can't sell things that you don't own, like a house that you don't own, you can't sell it, a car that you don't own, but yet you can short a stock. And I'm just like, that's so true. I never
Yeah.
thought about it that way.
Yep, naked shorting. You're right. That's pretty crazy they allow it. I love Elon. Even though he crashed my Bitcoin, I still love him. I don't care.
I was like, no. Yeah, well, it'll come back up. I mean, everything goes up, everything comes down. It has its moments, its recalls.
So
My sister,
you don't have an Interactive Brokers account yet, correct?
on Robinhood, I have the margins, but no, I don't have Interactive Brokers
Okay.
yet.
Okay. I mean, you don't really need it in the beginning because Robinhood offers the same rate. I mean, you get the 2.5% with Robinhood margin, but obviously
Okay.
once you go over, I would say like 50 grand, you're able to then start like borrowing at 1.5%, 1%. So it might behoove you to switch or start using Interactive Brokers.
Okay.
What about foreign
Definitely.
currency? I would not invest in foreign currency. I would rather buy crypto.
So a lot of people do like the Forex and stuff like that. Yeah, that's also interesting. I mean, it's kind of like playing craps. It's kind of like playing craps. It's like yes, no, maybe $20 here, $100 there, 3,000, and then you may or may not get it. I'm sorry, not craps, roulette. Sorry guys, roulette.
Yeah.
So
If you
that's
want to
how I
build
feel
long-term
about
wealth,
foreign
the way
exchange.
I the way I built my long-term wealth is I stayed away from all of these. Like I basically put like 80-90% of my wealth into like high quality assets. So when it comes to crypto, it's basically Bitcoin and Ethereum. And when it comes to stocks, it's mostly like the blue chip, like S&P 500. Stock market daddy saying never invest in foreign currency. Forex is a scam. But you
So
do
when I
you.
before this whole pandemic thing happened,
Go
say
ahead.
again.
I was gonna say you do you though.
Before
Everyone
this
should
whole
just experiment. Go ahead. Sorry.
I know it's hard stepping on each other. Before the whole thingamajig happened, the I call it the conspiracy, but anyways, before everything happened, someone was like, buy Iranian money. I mean, it was insane. He's like, I'm gonna tell you something. Buy Iranian money. And I'm like, Iranian money? He's like, buy as much as you can. and this was over a year ago.
You gotta tell me this stuff.
And I was like, that's
Wait,
bizarre. So, I mean, like it was like over a year ago. I was like, that's so strange. Why would they tell me to buy this? And so I went to, because I didn't know you could purchase stuff online at that time, like foreign money like that. I thought you had to go to like the mall and go to an exchange and actually buy it there. It's so funny. And like actually have physical foreign money in your hand. So I bought like $300 worth of Iranian money. It's probably still worth like
wow.
two
Yeah, I'm actually
cents.
Persian, so it's like really
I had a,
interesting that you have Iranian money. That's hilarious.
I had a Persian cat before.
There you
I don't know if
go.
you know that though. I really,
That's so funny.
it's probably okay. So it actually went up from the last time. See, I didn't. Did it go up? Yeah. Huh.
I don't think as good as
Interesting. I'll have
Bitcoin
to look
though.
more into.
I'm pretty sure Bitcoin and
Say again.
Ethereum have done I'm pretty sure Bitcoin and Ethereum have done much better than Iranian money.
I mean, who knows? He was just like so like he's like buy Iranian money, and this was he's like hold it. It's gonna go up, and I'm like okay, but I don't know. I'm still holding it. It's in my safe, so we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Have you seen any new TikTok scams come up? Like I saw the Turo thing. It's not really a scam, but like I don't know if you saw it. Like this promoter, because Turo's paying influencers on TikTok to promote people to get into debt.
Turo.
Like go lease like a $40,000 car and put it on Turo.
So I was just well, and I was just thinking the other day about starting to do the leases too because I have a customer when I from insurance. I he has 8 vehicles and that's kind of what he does. But I don't think he uses Toro. He just self promotes on Instagram and other places like that. And I'm like, it's not a bad gig, but I don't have a stomach like that because he sent me a picture of his car and I was just like, no way, dude. I was like, that's awful. I could imagine it was a Hellcat. I guess he gave him the right key. That means that like it gets like 700 horsepower or some craziness. I was just
Wow.
like, no, yeah,
But that's
I
a
would never do
full-time
that.
job.
I don't
People
think I
don't realize like it's hard, to manage, especially if you have a bunch of cars. It's like, people think it's easy to make money on Airbnb, but it's like no, when you're a host, there's like work behind it. It's just like Uber and any of these gig
that.
economy apps, like there's a lot of work behind it. So just make sure that you're willing to
Mhm.
hustle. It's not just like, oh, you just do it and you make money. It's not like Bitcoin. It's not like where you buy it, you just chill and it goes up.
That's so true. So, but I think Airbnb is way better than like renting your apartment. You know, like having people rent your place. It's so I don't know. I've had 2 sets of squatters before, and it was just awful. But here, I've got a picture of I don't know if you could see it. Hold on, hold on.
Let's see it. Show it to us.
I don't think you my background. Hold on. I don't think you can see it.
Oh, you
Oh
can't see it. You have
God,
to take off your. You're gonna have to
it's
take off
almost
your
there.
filter. Just take off your filters temporarily. You
Okay.
should send a screenshot to your other
Oh, there
phone.
you go.
Oh, it's purple, right? It's like purple. So what happened? Oh, is it all messed up? Yeah, it's a car that's all
Yeah.
messed up.
Do you see that front image? So like
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
good.
know. To me, it seemed kind of like a setup. It was a little sus. I was like, dude, you like just perfectly ran into a like I don't know gate or whatever, a fence like that, and destroyed the front of a Hellcat. I was like, that's so whack. But yeah, that's what happened
Maybe
there.
maybe he's trying to get paid
That's
out
what.
on his insurance, right? He's trying to get that insurance money.
Are we all? Are we all?
Oh, this is a good
Hold on, wait.
question. What's the biggest lesson you two are carrying into 2022 as far as crypto? You want to go first?
Never trust anybody else's instincts. Like, just do your own thing. Because at the end of the day, I mean, last year I learned this lesson pretty hard. I mean, I would have made about $6 million playing the Dogecoin game. I bought 1.1 million Doge, and then because a finance guy was like, Jeanette, you're a smart girl. Like, why would you play into this whole Dogecoin thing? Why not Bitcoin and blah blah blah? So cool. I mean, they had a point, but at the same time, if I would have just listened to myself, I think I would have been way better off. And you never
So
know. You never know. Take a chance.
my favorite thing I've learned is how awesome staking is. Because, like, I mean, I guess I'll show you guys, but like, I've made close to, I want to say $10,000 this year on just staking on BlockFi and Voyager. And you have to remember in like 2019 and 18, there was like a huge crypto crash. And so you had to hodl and there was no way to get like passive income. And so if like this next crypto crash really happens, I'm not like worried because like I love getting passive income off my crypto. And even if like crypto goes down 50, 60%, well, it doesn't matter. I'm still collecting, off my crypto deposit and I'll be ready for the next bull run. So I think for me, my lesson in crypto is that like, hey, you don't have to take on risk. Like you don't have to go buy crap coins and speculate. Like you can literally just buy high quality coins and put them in like, a BlockFi or a Voyager and just collect interest. And yeah, you don't get like all the like, you don't get the dopamine rush of gambling of like, oh, I doubled my money in 2 days. But I think if you just like split it up where like maybe 80% is like slow and boring investments, and if you're young, maybe 50%, and then you just go gamble with the 20% or the 50%.
True.
Can someone explain staking? Someone's like, what does staking mean? But
Where have they been the last 30 lives?
yeah, where are you staking? Where are you staking your crypto? What platform are you using?
I'm not.
You don't have a Voyager
I'm
yet?
not. I don't. I
Oh,
know.
you
I
gotta
know. I'm
sign up
working on
today
it.
then. Download it
I
today
have
and
up.
sign up. Huh?
Yes, yes. You know what? I'm gonna make a note of that. I'm
Do
gonna make a
do
note
it
of
right
that.
now and make sure you use my code 8CIN849.
CIN. Okay. Yeah, because last time you're like, oh, I'm gonna post it or something like that. And I got distracted. I think I was driving or something, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do it. So yeah, I'm gonna
I'll
do it.
text you. Too.
Do it this.
I think I have your number, so I'll just keep texting you and bothering you. But
Yes.
yeah, try to
Okay.
make some
Send me
passive
this.
income.
Please send me the screenshot. That would be awesome.
Yeah, I'll actually do it right now. I'll send you my stupid referral link. Um,
And then it's gonna go
but
off on my phone and
but
interrupt.
you should like how much? I don't know about you, but you should try the 9% on the U.S. dollar. Like it's crazy because I don't know if I told you.
That's
Here,
my next.
let me change my
It's
background. But
either gonna be that. So I
what's
have a
that?
friend that I got into like this hard money lending thing, and he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna put like 15 grand into this hard money lending," and I'm like, "Okay, let me know how it goes." I introduced him to hard money lending, and he's gonna put money in it. So I'm like, "Okay, let me know how it goes." He's like, "You're not doing it." I'm like, "Not yet," because like I have other projects. I want to secure the bag first, and then we'll see if I'm gonna get ripped off by other people. That's the thing. Like these quick. I mean, who gives you 15% on your money in a month?
Well,
That
no, no,
was the
no.
case.
The hard money loan doesn't do 15%. I thought it's like APR over the year for the hard money loans because you can get hard money loans for like 8%, 9%.
Okay, so the hard money loan, like, if you're investing into it, there's a company called MJ Funding Capital, and I've
Okay.
been following them for a while. But I don't know. I just feel like it's some kind of Ponzi scheme, and like I look up articles, and I'm like, did they get? Are they being sued yet? So that's kind of what I'm waiting for to see what's happening there.
Yeah,
Cool,
and I
thank you.
appreciate
Got it. I
the
got him,
people.
man.
Like, I really appreciate the people in my comments that are able to answer the questions for me because, like, someone was asking about like how to get the loans on M1 Finance. So I appreciate that. Like, it proves to me you're a true follower when I don't even have to answer some of these questions the people in my live stream already know.
True.
Yeah,
YOLO never sell. We still need to make those shirts.
yeah, yeah. Which
So you can
which
wear the
stocks do
shirt.
you
YOLO never
which stocks do you recommend for a beginning portfolio? Let's do 5 stocks. Well, for a beginner, what do you recommend?
right now. Okay, let
Yeah,
me
right
see.
now.
Hold on.
I love these questions. They never
Yeah,
get old.
yeah, true. Well, people want to know, like, it's scary to start. The first time I put $100 in, I was like, buy 100, see you later, see you never, because you don't know. I would okay, so I know a lot of people don't believe in the cruising age industry,
I like
but
cruise stocks.
I would say cruising, yeah, I would say cruising, oil, I know I've mentioned PTR to you before. I don't know if you've looked them up yet.
I like
They're
Carnival.
Petra China.
I like Carnival. If I was
Carnival's
going to be a beginner, I would
good.
do Carnival or yeah, Carnival is bigger than the other one. What is the other one? Norwegian. I prefer Carnival because Carnival's bigger.
Royal Caribbean.
If you're gonna do Neo, a lot of people
In
love
contrast to the
Neo.
Royal Caribbean.
If you're gonna do the Chinese stock Neo, you gotta have some Tesla. So if you're gonna buy Neo, I don't think Neo is a bad stock. I think there's a lot of upside. You want to own some Tesla.
I'm currently not investing in any of those right now. I'm kind of just. I know you're YOLO never sell, but I told you I was gonna sell so I can buy other things and take an L on it. British Petroleum.
Yes, I
I
love
like
BP.
theirs.
That's a good stock and good
Okay,
dividend.
BP. Yeah, BP.
Yeah.
I think for a beginner, depending on their budget, um, I would say there's one O like Oscar, G like golf, Z like Zulu, P like Papa, Y like Yankee. Um, it's also an oil stock, but it's $7.48.
Yeah.
If the
So someone
interest
was
with margins
asking
is the same,
if I staked 3 million, I get 200 grand a year. So I told you I have a real estate investor that's staking $1 million on both BlockFi and Interactive Brokers, and so they're not Interactive Brokers, BlockFi and Voyager, and so they're getting paid about 7.5 grand a month on their $1 million, which is pretty
yeah, that's
dope.
nuts. Hey, it takes money to make money,
I know, isn't that
but you gotta
unfair?
do it smart.
It literally like the game is kind of unfair because like I'm telling you right now, it's a lot easier to make $1 million when you have $1 million. It's a lot easier.
Absolutely, absolutely. I would say so. I bought into this one ZOM, Zamidica. I don't know how to say that, or Samidica. I'm trying to say.
Why are
It's at
people hating on
91 cents right
Tesla? A lot of people are saying, "Oh, Tesla's not good." I think Tesla's a great stock, especially under $600.
now. Oh no, absolutely,
Not
absolutely, and
900.
that's. I mean, huh?
Not 900. I don't think Tesla's a good stock at 900, but at 600, under 600,
Well, it
like
went all the way to 1200,
550, five hundred
and some
dollar Tesla.
sold at 900. Yeah, no, definitely. I believe in Tesla. I think it's a great stock to hold. Just right now, I'm kind of like trying to solidify. Like I bought Ford when I sold, it was to buy other stocks that are less expensive and try to make more capital. I bought Ford. I bought Marathon. You know, things that are going to be like I bought Ford at I think $5, and it's at $15.97 now. So you could grab more shares and hold on to them for a little bit, and then go back and stake Tesla.
So people are really interested on the Interactive Brokers. People are they want to learn how to borrow at 1%. So yeah, okay, cool. Kelly's gonna can answer that question. But yeah, there's a lot of people asking me where can I borrow $66,000 at 1%. I'm like Interactive Brokers. I say it in the TikTok. Interactive Brokers. Go look at their rate. So
Yes,
um,
it's definitely a must.
yeah,
By
but
tonight, I'll set up my account.
yeah. I'll help you too. And that's why, like, in the future, if people have questions, they can actually just ask you. They don't have to ask me. But the other thing I wanted to talk about, oh yeah, so for beginner stocks, I really like Airbnb. I think that one's like an easy money stock. Like, what are your thoughts on Airbnb? Uh-oh, she cut out. Yeah, I'm glad you guys asked this. So once again, if you want to borrow at 1%, if you want to be able to borrow, where are you finding? So you got to click on my profile. My profile link, I have a link for Interactive Brokers. But it's really important if you don't have, because like in order to borrow at 1%, you have to own stock. So if you're starting out with Interactive Brokers, you want to do the light. What is Interactive Brokers? See, the problem is most of these people that are coming in here, I don't think they've ever owned stocks, so they don't realize. Yeah. So the way you're able to borrow at 1% is you're basically saving your money instead of putting your money in a bank and the bank gives you zero. You're putting your money in a brokerage. You're investing in companies, primarily American companies, and then you get a line of credit on the American. Yeah, there you go. So you have stock. If you have stock, you can transfer it to Interactive Brokers, and as long as you have the premium service on, it's one and a half
It's
percent.
recurring.
And then if you have more than 100 grand, it's 1%. And the reason I can borrow $66,000 at 1% is because I have, like, I believe on that TikTok, I have $180,000 of stocks, but so maybe I can buy flowers. I have stocks. I've just never heard of this. But oh yeah, so what are your thoughts on Airbnb? We keep getting distracted. What are your thoughts on Airbnb for a
So
beginner?
no, just like, I think eventually I'm gonna get you connected with someone that I knew that like before Airbnb went public, his cousin was actually in charge of like if you had 100,000, you could have invested into it. I wanted to get into it, but I just felt like I was gonna wait for it to launch because I didn't want to just dump 100,000. Not like I had it like that either, but
Hmm.
just be like, hey, here's 100,000. Let's put it all in. I didn't want it to be like something, for example, Coinbase. Unfortunately, everyone was like, yeah, before it goes public, blah, 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 and a lot of people purchased opening day, and I think it was like $400. So I don't know. It's just like it's like a catch-22. If you buy enough shares before it goes public, great. Once it goes public, then you
It
have to
was
buy,
130
like
bucks
if it goes
though.
all the way up.
Airbnb
Say
at
again?
one point during this crash, it was $130, and I believe it's still under
Yeah,
$150. So I still think Airbnb
that's
is a good
awesome.
buy, but if you can get it
I was
under
looking at it when it was $20, and I was like, should I buy it? Should I
Airbnb,
not buy it?
was that, but it went public at
Yeah.
like $120, right? It went public, when it first went public.
No, it was no, it was less than that. Way less than
I
that.
don't think so. Check on your phone. Airbnb, I don't believe
Hold
traded
on.
under 120.
Actually, you guys are on my phone, but hold on. I think Airbnb,
Yeah, I think
Airbnb.
Airbnb is a great stock. Another stock enough people don't talk
I
about
like it.
is Coinbase. Because so many people are gambling. I don't want to call it gambling, but they're investing on crypto and all that stuff. So if I was a beginner and I had a beginning portfolio,
Oh yeah,
my
you're right.
key, yeah, it's all good.
I don't know what.
I'm a stock nerd, so I know a lot of this stuff. But anyways,
Yeah,
I
you
feel
are.
like if you're a beginner right now, the two stocks I like the most, Airbnb and Coinbase, because these are just like there's really no competition. Even though I'm hoping Voyager one day will compete with Voyager, you can buy their stock as well. But if you're a beginner and you know Airbnb and you think it's a good product, highly recommend you own some Airbnb. And then if you're a crypto bull, if you own more crypto than stocks, you got to own Coinbase, especially if Coinbase is like under $250. Because remember, I'm a sucker. I don't know if I told you this. I paid
So I have
three. Go ahead.
no. I was gonna say I have Coinbase, but I don't have the stock itself. But go
Wow,
ahead.
you should buy it.
Like I
So
have
I
stock
bought
on
my
Coinbase.
first Coinbase. I'm like the stock guru, right? And when Coinbase went public, I'm like, I gotta get it, right? My first share of Coinbase was $330, and right now it's trading at $230. So think about all these like
Right.
institutions and all these hedge funds that paid $300 for the Coinbase, and you can actually buy it. There you go. I actually use Airbnb. See, if you're an investor and you actually use Airbnb, it makes it like a better investment because you're not going to sell it if the price
I
goes down because you actually like use it and you know
I
it's a good
think the reason
service.
why I'm like crossing the information of it being like $20 a share was because I'm thinking of like before it went public.
Hmm. Yeah,
I
no
don't know
worries.
if that makes sense. But
No
yeah,
worries.
those are the kind of people that I would eventually get you connected with if you were interested in, you know,
And
doing
then
stuff before it
my
goes
third
public.
favorite stock, and you can pick either one of these, is disruption of real estate. Because I think real estate brokers and agents make way too much money and they're really dumb, even though I have a broker's
Mm.
license. So, have you ever used Zillow or Redfin to look at
Yeah,
properties?
I was a broker as well back in '08. I was a broker. '07, '08. Yeah, I bought my first place because I had my brokerage license and was well, sorry, correction, sales agent's license. And the agent at the time goes, "Go ahead, keep the keep the commission." So that was nice. But yeah,
Yeah, you can buy Coinbase right now
some of
for
at
two
the
two thirty, $230. It's really cheap. Yeah, Open Door is another good one. So I like Open Door, I like Redfin, and I like Zillow. So if you're a beginner, once again, I would pick one of these real estate technology disruption stocks. If you've used Zillow, then buy Zillow. If you've used Redfin, then buy Redfin. And then I don't know if anyone's
Right.
used Open Door because they kind of rip people off. But if you've used Open Door, I feel bad for you because they ripped you off. But it's a good service though, because what they do is they cut out the flippers and they give you the money and then they do the flip themselves. But those are all good stocks.
That's pretty good. There's another company that'll go out. It starts with the C. Carbo, and they'll come out and they'll flip your home for you, and then put like the negative equity as a lien until you sell it, or like they'll expect their payment. So that's pretty neat. I wish I would have known about them a while ago, because like it's hard to take on such a huge project, especially with Airbnb. Like I was like, oh, I need a back patio and I've got to put turf down and do all this stuff. If I would have known this company existed, I would have just been like, here you go, flip my house for me and I'll keep renting it out, and just would have been easier than contracting a handyman that every 5 seconds he's like, I need $500 for a new door. I'm like, what? Huh? No.
Okay, so
So
and then those are now three. Those are three. So I was saying, basically do Airbnb, do Coinbase, do like another real estate disruption stock. And so my fourth one I really am bullish on is chips. I think that chip makers are going to just like make out with like bandits because we had the chip shortage. And so for my favorite chip
absolutely.
stock, I like Nvidia even though the price is really crazy right now. I like AMD. I don't know, have you heard of AMD?
AMD,
Yeah.
possibly. I don't think I bought into them. Nvidia, I was actually I had Nvidia stock. Had, but
Yeah, and
only
then
because it did so well. It went up, and
yeah, and then
I act like
TSM.
I'm a day trader.
So if once again,
TSM.
if I'm a beginner, I would pick a chip maker and I would pick between TSM, AMD, Nvidia, and if you want to take a gamble, but it could work out, Intel, because supposedly Joe Biden's going to give a bunch of money to Intel to make them more competitive. So I would definitely have a chip maker as one of my like beginner stocks, just because the world runs on chips. So you can pick, but have definitely a chip maker in your stock
That's a good
portfolio.
point.
Yeah. Okay. And
Yeah,
then my
that's a
last
good point.
category that I like for number five would be, ooh, this is a good one too. I got to think. Probably would have to be like a big tech company, just so you have stability, right? So I guess you could do like
A big
if
tax
Apple,
company.
no, big tech, like a monopoly
Oh,
company.
tech
So like,
company.
yeah, so like Apple, if it's under 120, Google, Microsoft, Facebook. And then I guess if you wanted to try one that's undervalued, but it's Chinese, I think Alibaba, because it's super cheap right now. But that's like if you're okay with investing in China, because I know there's a lot of Americans that don't want to give any money to Chinese stocks.
Well,
So, and I don't
I
blame you. I don't blame
yeah.
you.
A lot of people are saying like, oh, I wouldn't give them a dime, blah blah blah. I'm like, look at the shirt you wear.
Oh,
They like, come on, let's be real. Let's like at the end of the day, let's be real.
and hey, you know what?
So
I could be wrong with that, with the big tech. You could go EV. So you could do Tesla or NIO. It's up to you. I mean, once again, there's so many good stocks that you shouldn't limit it to five. But at the same time, if you're a beginner, I highly recommend not owning more than like 10 or 20 stocks because it gets way too like,
absolutely. I mean, that's my biggest problem is owning like individual stocks that like more than 10 or 20 different kinds that you're just like, okay, what do I sell? What do I buy right now? What's going up? What's going down? So then you're staring at it all day, like sell, buy. I mean, if you look at it as much as I used to, I try not to anymore. I'm just like, it's going to do its own thing for a while. And then I'll come back to it, and then I'll listen to Cinedine, and then I'll check it out.
yeah,
So,
cool, cool, cool. All right.
yeah.
So that's pretty much it. I'm gonna get ready and go to the gym. If you guys got any like
Oh,
last minute questions you want to ask me, I'll stay on for maybe like another 5 minutes. Um, but yeah, what are you doing this weekend? I do want to ask you, what are you up to this weekend, Jolly?
here in Florida, I was just watching some people at the beach, so I'm like, oh, that looks so nice. Just hanging out home, staying COVID free, just chilling. We don't have COVID
Yeah,
in Florida though.
yeah. COVID isn't.
We're,
So I'm gonna do a
what
Miami
about
trip.
you?
I'm gonna keep you in the loop, but I think I'm gonna come to Miami in September. So
I'll definitely,
Okay,
I definitely
cool.
want to do like meetups. Like, I'm gonna hopefully have Party Finance come out to LA to visit me and maybe do like a Houston trip as well.
Oh, that's
But
cool.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So
Party.
that's what I like about TikTok. It's like,
That sounds like a lot of
have friends in every city you travel to. Like that way,
fun.
you're just
That's
not just
cool.
like a dumb
You're
tourist.
always welcome. You and your Annie and you and Annie
Yeah,
are always welcome.
yeah,
So
yeah.
come by,
Thank
come on,
you.
bring her with
This
you.
is this is a
Yeah.
hilarious comment. I got to give a shout out. Can you do forearm exercises to develop diamond hands? Oh my God, that was
Everybody
such a
wants
funny
you to
comment.
develop something. Everybody wants you to like develop a program for them. You're a busy guy. You're a busy guy. I mean, like before, I used to be like, buy this and buy that. People don't listen, anyways. Sorry, not trying to be, like not to me at least. To you, yeah, but not to me. So, but yeah, I gotta get my kiddo over to her friend's house. So, definitely thanks for
So
having me
I'll
live. And
bother you too because I do want to get you on the block. What's it called? On the Voyager, so you can get some interest on your 9% on the U.S. dollar, and then eventually
yes, for sure.
we
Get on
get
me about that.
and we got to get you on Interactive Brokers so you can borrow at 1%. Because a lot of people are like, how do I borrow 66
Absolutely
grand for $36? Interactive Brokers, guys. Interactive Brokers.
awesome. Well, thanks again, and you guys
So
have a good one. I'll see you later.
bye. All right, 1 second, guys. Jolly, can someone? Sorry, guys. Can someone give her name? Can someone in the chat leave her name? Definitely give her a follow. Like, highly recommend you follow her. Um, does anyone else want to do a dual live before I go? Is there anyone here that has more than 1,000 followers? I'm trying to get as many new people to come on my live stream. Does anyone here have the ability to go live? You have to have like 1,000 followers. Yeah, Interactive Brokers is an app. Hey, you're actually able to go live. Have you ever gone live, Casey? If you have more than 1,000 followers, you can go live. It's actually pretty cool. Good way to talk to people. It's Jolly, and then I don't know her name. Can someone type out her name? It's Jolly, and then Halo. I don't remember. If you go to my followers, I don't follow that many people. If you click on my profile and you go to my followers and you put in Jolly, she should come up, so you can add her. But yeah, definitely when I'm not available. Okay, M1 Finance or Interactive Brokers, which one's better? I like Interactive Brokers because you can borrow for less. So just so you know, if you ever want to go live and you don't want people to like see you, you can just change your background. You see? So if you want to go live and you don't want people to see your face, like here, I can even change my background really quick so I can show you. So you would just go like this, right? And then this way you're able to do the live stream because I can understand some people don't want to show their face on the live stream, but you can change your background and then you just, you basically, then it's just like a voice. So just so you know, if you ever want to go live and you don't want to show your face, I have no clue. It's a really easy setting. When you go on live, you literally hit this like magic wand button and you just change it. And then you can just make your background and then you don't have to show yourself. How do we pay back the entire loan? Hold on. Are you able to go live, Crypto Whale? You're not able to go live. So you don't have to pay back the loan as long as you leave your stocks in there. Yeah, no problem. Just trying to help people out, but yeah, you don't have to pay back the loan. You hold on your stocks. Your stocks are the collateral. Hey, Murray. Okay, can everyone here do me a favor? Can you guys follow Murray? If you can follow him, I'm trying to get him to 1,000 followers so we can do a double live. I know, and I'm gonna try to get all my OG crypto followers to like my goal is to get every one of my followers to 1,000 followers so they can do a double live with me. So if you guys don't mind, please follow Murray. I would really appreciate it if you follow him. I'm trying to get him to 1,000 followers. So the loan can be used for anything. Yeah, so you can pull the cash out and then you can do whatever you want with the cash. You can use it to buy more stocks, buy crypto, buy stuff, whatever you want. They just won't give you more than 50% of your stock portfolio. So if you have $10,000 in stocks, they'll give you $5,000 loan, right? And you have to have good stocks, like high quality stocks. Yeah, let's all get Murray to 1,000 followers. I'd really appreciate it. Yep. Please follow him, guys. I would really appreciate it. I'm trying to get him to. So what if we want to sell the stocks and cash at hand? You can sell your stocks. It's just when you sell your stocks, your ability to borrow goes down. Nice. Murray got an Interactive Brokers. Okay, that's good. So if you guys have questions, you can follow Murray, and Murray will have to answer your questions. Yeah, no worries. Give Murray a follow, and I'm gonna make Murray have to teach everyone because just so you know, I've done a bunch of live streams on what was the app we used? Anyways, I've talked to Murray on Skype, and he really knows his stuff. In fact, I gotta make him an admin. Let me make you an admin, Murray. I just want to get $1,000. So if you want to get a $1,000 loan, you just need to have $2,000 in Interactive Brokers. But you should do the light. What's the best app for investing for peeps who have no clue? Probably Robinhood. I would start with Robinhood and then switch to Interactive Brokers. But I still think, I mean, honest to God, you can skip Robinhood and just go straight to Interactive Brokers. But it's up to you. I live in California. Who do you get the loan through? It's through your loan broker. So you can get the loan through Robinhood or you can get your loan through Interactive Brokers. Look who it is.
Good afternoon, my friend. How are you?
Is that a Bulls jersey? Let's see this.
This is my Derrick Rose jersey, one of my favorite players at the time.
Nice.
How are you?
So people don't understand how this margin debt works because they're like, you don't have to pay back the loan. You want to explain it to people?
I think when you use the term loan, perhaps that's where the miscommunication would be, because it's more like a line of credit than a loan, if that makes sense to people.
It's
They're
like you
not
own a house.
necessarily
If you own a house, you can get a line of credit. It's the same thing. And like when you get a line of credit on your house, it's like 3%, right? It's like 3 to 5%.
right, depending on the terms, but basically any brokerage that you have an account with, if you have once you meet the margin minimums, they're going to give you a certain percentage of your account that you can put into other assets. So it's basically a credit line that you can only use to buy additional assets. And like you had mentioned, they have to be high quality, and they're not going to let you go into margin accounts on, really bad stocks. They want you to be in
And
high
that's why
quality
I
assets.
encourage people. You know, some people get mad that I'm telling people to do margin, but if you actually do it, you start to realize that you need to buy high quality stocks. Like a lot of people, when they start investing, they buy all the crap stocks. And so they don't realize that, yeah, exactly. Someone's asking, how do I borrow $66,000 for $36? You don't do that with AMC or like some crap stock, right? I mean, AMC is not that bad, but you know what I mean?
They're not even going to let you buy AMC on margin. I mean,
Yeah.
you're gonna buy really really high quality stocks. I think on Robinhood they use what's called the Morningstar rating, and it's rating companies, and you can see it, and you'll actually see the difference with some stocks where some might have a different margin maintenance than other stocks. So your highest quality, like your Microsoft, something of that nature, may only have a 50%. If you're going into really high quality, like a Vanguard fund, like we talk about, those may even have like a 25% margin maintenance. So it really depends on the asset. Just be careful, guy. I can see why somebody would say, somebody may be concerned, you're telling people to go on margin because you do have to remember, guys, if you're going on the margin, you are exposing yourself to additional risk.
But
So
not
if
as
you
much
have,
risk
it's
as
just like,
buying a crap stock or an option. Like I feel like there's more risk
oh no,
in
I
buying
agree.
options. And so
I
someone's
I,
saying
I
you
agree
gotta
100%.
and someone's saying you gotta still pay that loan back, right? You can't just keep pulling. And it's like, yeah, you
It's not a
actually
it's
don't. Because I want to just bring
let's
this up.
not use the word, don't use the term loan because that's where they're probably getting misunderstood. You're not getting a loan. You're getting a line of credit to buy assets. They're never giving you any money. You can't get margin and withdraw it. It's in your account to only buy stocks,
Oh, you
and then
can.
once you
You're
sell
wrong.
that
You can pull out cash. Interactive Brokers lets you
from
pull out
certain
cash.
for certain brokerages, most of
No,
them will
even
not.
Robinhood, the ones I promote, you can pull it out and use that cash to buy crypto, to buy a car, put it into down payment.
No,
Yeah,
no, not on Robinhood for sure. You
yeah, you
can't you
can.
can't withdraw your margin.
Yeah, you can.
I may I may be
Do it.
mistaken, but that
No, no, you're wrong.
I
You
may
can do it
I
right
may
now. Right now, you can transfer into your Wells. Who do you bank with? Bank of America? Who do you bank with?
I I have many, but
Let's just say you bank
well,
with
let's
Bank
just
of
say Bank
America.
of America.
Your
Hmm.
Robinhood or your Interactive Brokers, you can, whatever your maximum margin balance is, they'll let you pull that out as cash. Now, it's different if you obviously buy stocks. Your buying power is not your how much cash you can pull out because your buying power is obviously going to be more because you're buying more stocks with it. But you can for sure
This
pull
is
out
this is
cash.
news.
Yeah, see,
This
so
is
you're
news to
learning
me.
too. See, and a lot of people don't
Listen.
know.
That's why I come on here.
A lot of people don't know this, and that's why you got to go do it, guys. Like, I don't know how to explain it to you because a lot of people have never like experimented with it, so they don't realize how awesome this is. And yeah, people are like, "No way you can withdraw margin." Like, yeah, I do it all the time. Anyway,
I'm gonna look into that because and if that is true, I would be careful with that, guys, because you definitely, I the more appropriate use of margin, let's say, is you've been eyeing a stock, it's come down to a really good price, you anticipate it coming up to another level. I would use margin at that to get a bigger position and take advantage of you're anticipating a stock increasing. Or if you get like a really big market crash, I would probably be really heavy in when the market crashed last March due to the pandemic. I was using all available margin possible. So I would use it to take
you
advantage of
can't
market
pull
timing.
cash on Doge. See, one reason why people don't know how to do this, it's because they have crappy stocks. So if your Robinhood is a bunch of crap stocks, you can't borrow, you can't pull out cash. But if you buy Amazon, Apple, Facebook, Google, like Netflix, you can pull cash out. It's not even a problem. And I highly recommend people try it because why would you sell your stock? Because a lot of people sell stocks. Don't sell your stock and pay taxes. Take a line of credit out and then use that to reinvest. And people are like, oh, do I have to pay it back? Well, if they're charging you 2.5% and your Amazon and your Facebook is going up more than 10% a year, you never have to pay it. You don't have to pay it back. You can keep pulling cash out as it goes up in value, and you don't pay any taxes. It's a way to defer
But
taxes too.
you do also want to make sure that different brokers will charge you a different percentage on that margin. So you have to make sure that the gains on your asset are outpacing the interest on the margin plus some, or you're not making any money.
Remember, don't go into debt if it's more than 3%. So if you're on like another
Right.
broker and they're charging you 6% or 8%, I don't recommend it. That's why
I
I
wouldn't I
tell
wouldn't even
everyone
touch that.
to go to Interactive Brokers because I don't know if you saw it. So I have a video that went viral. I'm right now borrowing $66,000 and I'm paying
Hmm.
$36 a month of interest. And
Hmm.
if I wanted to right now, here, I'll even take a screenshot. Um, I believe I can pull out $40,000 of margin cash because, like, I think my maximum margin on my account is like 100 grand. So if I wanted to today, I could transfer, and on Monday, I'll have $33,000 of cash in my account plus the additional 66,000 I owe. So you can do it, and Interactive Brokers is the best platform because I mean that's literally free money to be able to borrow $66,000 at $36 a month.
More and more people are asking me about interactive brokers. I don't have an account with them. I have
Are
a
you going to
bunch.
sign
I
up
think
so you
I
can
may
learn?
open one.
Use my link.
I
Sign up.
may I may I may check it out just to. I like to be able to answer questions intelligently that people ask me. So I try to open up accounts that people are on, so I have an understanding of, they sometimes you even have to have the simplest questions of just like navigating the site or things of that nature.
And
So
the reason I call it free money, it's because inflation is more than 3%. So when you're able to borrow any kind of debt you can get into, and that's why buying a house is actually not a bad idea if you're able to borrow under 3%. The way capitalism works, and especially in this easy money policy, the reason why the richest people are getting richer, it's because they buy a bunch of assets and they go into debt under 3%. So the reason that why the billionaires got like richer in during the coronavirus pandemic, it's because they're able to borrow way cheaper than the average American and they buy a bunch of assets. So basically all I'm
and
trying to do is teach people that like, yo, you want to be like the billionaires, you got to be able to borrow under 3%. That's how the billionaires get rich.
And really, right now is probably if you are interested in buying a home, this year is probably going to be your last chance to really take advantage of the rates or where they are. The rates can't go any lower at this point, and they're probably going to increase here over the next few months. The Fed chairman will be doing an announcement this upcoming Friday, and I'd be curious to see what he says about the bond rates coming up. So buying a home here in 2021 is probably your last chance to really take advantage of the best interest rates
And
on your
here's another
mortgage.
thing too. This is a good comment. So I took off a loan to pay of 20 grand to pay off credit card, right? And that's why like in the future, if you understand how to do this, you're not going to have to go into credit card debt because instead of using a credit card, you're going to use your stocks as your credit. And guess what? That's tax deductible. Your credit card debt is not tax deductible, but your stock debt, your line of credit on your stock, it's all tax deductible. And that's why rich people don't pay taxes because they never sell their stocks and they get a line of credit. So it's even more tax deductions.
Yeah,
Wow,
Kelly,
they're
I was just
charging
talking
her.
about that.
And this is what's crazy. They were charging her 31% for credit card debt. See, that's like so unfair.
You can't,
Why
you
are
can't.
some
But
Americans able?
that's on you though. No, that's on her though because you should have never had that card. If somebody offers you a credit card with if you're not reading the terms and stuff, that's really on you.
People don't
I'm
promote
sorry, I'm
stock
not being rude,
investing.
but
Like people are like, oh, don't go into margin debt. But it's like, yo, like there's so many people in credit card debt and like margin debt can free you from credit card debt. It's the good
first
debt.
of all, to that individual there, you should be calling that company, and you should definitely be asking them
Reduce it.
to reduce
Yeah.
that. Yeah, for sure. If
She was able
not,
to
you need to
refi
pay
though.
that card. That should be your number one priority is to get that card to zero and cancel it. Period. End of story. You should not have that card in your possession at all. And whatever you need to do, I would transfer the balance somewhere else. Anything at all. I'm assuming if you have that type of interest rate on your card, your credit score may not be the best. So maybe that's something you want to work on as well. But definitely, that
Actually,
should
she
be
has a
your
Chase
priority. Should be paying
private
that off.
client card. So she has to have a really good credit for that. You don't get the
Wow,
private
they're
client
charging you that
card.
much. Are you sure? Are you sure it's that high then? Those things don't
Sometimes
seem like they would
Chase
go
might
together.
do it. I don't know. I don't know.
I would contact them. I would
But the main
contact
thing
them and
is,
ask them to change the terms.
yeah, and then the other thing you can do is some credit cards, they allow you to transfer and then they do zero
Mm.
APR for like 12 months.
Right, right. That's probably something that she should definitely, or whoever that is, they should be
But
taking
she
advantage of
mentioned
something
she
like that.
has a bunch of stocks. What's crazy is let's just say this person is sitting on like $100,000 of stocks and they don't even know that they can borrow $50,000 at like, $500 a year. 'Cause
Right.
there's
I think, I've told you recently, I think that's really, understanding how to leverage your assets, I think is one of your strong suits, Dean.
yeah.
It really is important information to share with people. I think sometimes it's hard for people because I think that their stock portfolio is not as large as they'd like it to be at this time. So some people don't, because maybe their portfolio is so small, the amounts that they can leverage seems small, so it seems insignificant. So I think sometimes it's tough for them to grasp. But the information is important because as you grow and as you're saving, it's better to know this stuff now, even as your investing journey maybe in its infancy. So when you do come into some real money, you're going to understand how to kind of leverage it. And he's 100% right. That's how rich people get richer faster. Is they understand how to leverage their own money.
Exactly. And then
Yeah, she needs
someone
to
was
do a
asking,
balance transfer. Yes.
what if the market collapses 50%? To get a margin call, it'd have to go down usually 75%. And like, do you really think Apple is going to go down 75%? Like, can you talk about this for a little bit? Because people think that like it's crypto. Crypto goes down 50% in one day.
Right. I
Stocks like
mean,
Apple
I
do
mean,
not go down.
I mean, first of all, like I said, I think it's important to understand there's times that leverage is very, or that margin is very important. And that's usually if the market were to take a step back. I anticipate the market taking a little bit of a step back here in the next few weeks. It usually does right before the summertime. And ordinarily in the summer, the market slows down quite a bit. 2020 was kind of an anomaly, I think, with everybody getting unemployment benefits and a lot of stimulus money in the economy. People were home, and I think the stock market was just kind of something they were due. Ordinarily, the stock market is going to slow down during the summer months. It's going to be a little bit flatter with a whole lot less volatility. So I'm not sure if right now would be a time that I would want to. I would really wait for a pullback. You should already have a goal in mind. Hey, I've been eyeing Apple. I've been eyeing Boeing. I've been whatever stock you're eyeing. Wait for it to pull back, then go in with margin. But just like your credit cards, if you have like $1,000 of margin available, I wouldn't use $1,000 of margin. I maybe would use 300 for. You want to limit. You want to have it open in case it does drop down. But when you talk about getting margin called on a high quality asset,
Like Apple,
the if
let
you
me ask you
if
this:
you pull up any chart on Apple,
how
go
much
ahead.
did it go down during the coronavirus crash? I don't think Apple even went down that much. I'm gonna go look at my phone right now. How much did it drop when it crashed? It didn't go down more than like
I'm not
20%. Hold on, I'm gonna check
I'm
right now.
not 100% sure because I know they split as well. So it would have been Apple 400. I'm not sure.
I'm looking
I'm
right
not
now. I'm
sure
gonna
because
look right now so I can tell
yeah,
you.
yeah,
Give me
because
a
the
second while
split,
you.
the fact that they split is messing up. But I think it's a possibility that I think Tesla has a possibility. I think Tesla can definitely pull back a lot. Tesla should be freaking worried, to be honest with you.
Okay,
If I were a Tesla investor, I'd be very worried.
Apple went from a high of $80 to $60.
Right.
And the world
So
was going to end.
that's
The world was going to end,
that's
and Apple
20%.
went down
Right.
only 25%.
But that's what I'm saying. Like that is a time when that's when I would be all in on margin. Like I was so levered at that time. I was actually a little bit worried. But that's when like using a lot of margin is appropriate. But you will if you are doing your homework and you understand that this company is undervalued and due to perform and you're on margin, you are going to accelerate your gains significantly. I mean, you are exposing yourself to some risk, but like he said, the chances of these high quality assets going down 10-20%, it took a pandemic to do it. It would take Apple, just multiple lawsuits. It would just take such significant events for these high quality assets to go down, and that's why the brokerage is willing to give you the money to invest because they're insisting that you do it in assets that they know statistically don't really have a chance to go down so low. You may lose some money. Don't get me. The asset may the price may decline, but it's not going to drop down so much where you're just going to be, oh my God, what did I just do? I'm going to have to shoot myself or jump out of a bridge.
That's why you got to be. So he just named a bunch of good stocks. So, like, literally, if you're going to go on margin, you're going to want to own Amazon, Microsoft, Apple. Some other ones I like are Google, Facebook, Netflix, Disney. Is there any other? Oh, Boeing. Boeing is another good one.
Boeing is the one. I love Boeing. Pull back a little bit. Netflix had a little bit of a pullback this week. I also like coming up here. You'll start to see Q2 earnings coming up in July. I'm expecting a little bit of a pullback in the market. I'm waiting for it to get a little heavier. And as it rides into the end of July, early August for Q2 earnings, that's a nice time to be on margin as well because you'll see stocks starting to run up right before they report. What happens after they report, you're unsure of because they're going to be reporting, revenue and things of that nature and giving guidance. But running up towards earnings, not a bad time to be in margin. But I do expect a pullback before that.
I like these picks too. So Berkshire Hathaway is good. I think Coca-Cola, since Warren Buffett owns Coca-Cola. Um, Nike, McDonald's. I mean,
You
these are
you
all
you
easy
do
money
you do
stocks.
you do want to make sure that it's not something that's like Berkshire would concern me a little bit going on margin with because like I said, you do want depending on how much because usually with like Robinhood, for example, they will give you the first $1,000 of margin free. But beyond that, you just need to make sure that the stock is outpacing the interest rate.
Coke is too woke. Sorry, that was such
Coke
a
is too
funny
low.
comment. Coke is too woke. Oh, that's a good one.
You want to be in margin on something that you expect some growth of from the time that you start using margin on to the time that you are going
Can you
to
explain
get rid of the
margin?
asset. You want to make sure it's something that's growing.
Because someone's
Say it
totally
again.
confused. So everyone, a lot of the people that are listening to you talk, they don't know what margin means. So should we say line of
I
credit?
understand. That's no, that's great, and I'm glad that you're here because if you have an interest in investing, this is this is I think what's great that Dean brings to the table
Yeah. And by the way,
is
I'm gonna
having
go
young
soon.
investors who are asking.
I was supposed to go to the gym, so give him a follow, jump in his live stream, and you can ask him a lot of these questions. I'm not going to be able to answer these questions. I'm going to go in about 5 minutes. So, highly recommend if you want, give him a follow, jump in his live stream, and hopefully he can answer those questions for you. So go ahead.
I'm happy to stay on for a little while. I didn't plan on coming on. I just saw you on here. You can see it. I'm just relaxing today. It's sunny here in New York and it's beautiful. But basically, what the brokerage that you use is allowing you to do is giving you a line of credit and to purchase additional assets. And there are some fees involved when you're using so much of it. Usually, you can get some upfront. But let's say you have an investing account, an investing portfolio, and you have $10,000 in that account. They will give you an additional $5,000 as a line of credit. They're not going to run your credit score or nothing of that nature. Just because you have cash in that with that brokerage, they are willing to give you a line of credit that you can purchase additional assets with. And like I said, I think the important thing is when you have done your homework and your research, and like I always talk about Boeing. I think it's the most undervalued stock on the stock market. I think it'd probably be at 300 by the end of the year. I would be willing to get Boeing on margin.
And it creates a lot of jobs in America. That's the other reason I love Boeing. Boeing doesn't outsource to China, unlike
Yeah,
Walmart and other stocks.
Boeing is phenomenal. So when I think about, hey, Boeing is sitting at right around 250 today, I anticipate $50 worth of growth within the next 7 months. I have a certain level of comfortability taking out a line of credit with my brokerage that they're willing to they want me to have. And well, fucking helicopter's really low. Sorry, the helicopter's flying by here really low.
Wow.
I live near Lockheed Martin, and they actually build. They've been building that presidential marine helicopter. They've been building it not far from here, so I think they're testing it. They've been doing it for like 2 years here.
BA is the ticker for Boeing.
Yeah, B as in boy, A as in apple. It's one of the components of the Dow.
240.
You
know the price is like 240.
It was down a little bit by the time Friday. It was like 250, right around there. It was like right at that 250 level. It's been him and Dean and I have been talking about it since 220. You go on some of my videos in the past. I'm like, hey, stuff I'm watching. Boeing was at 219, and I said load up. I was like, this is the surest home run. Like the stock market is throwing 100-mile-an-hour pitches at you and then a curveball. Boeing is the ball on the freaking tee, and you have a loaded corked metal bat. Like this thing is it's an easy home run.
We called it easy money. I remember this.
Honestly,
we did a live stream and we're like, Boeing 220 is easy money.
I mean, just up to this level is a nice profit on something as sound as Boeing.
Someone's saying, should I sell my Tesla to buy Boeing? No, I would just basically wait for Boeing to go back.
I'm concerned about Tesla, dude. I'm concerned about Tesla. I think Elon Musk is starting to reveal himself as like the fucking bad guy of the movie. I thought he was the hero of the movie, and I think he may be the villain after all.
Someone's saying I would just use you can get a loan on your Tesla, so use your Tesla margin to buy some Boeing.
Yes,
and then it's like way safer.
There you go.
And remember, when you buy Boeing. When you buy Boeing on Tesla margin, you get more margin because you have now Boeing to borrow on.
Now you do have to remember this is something that you may have to be patient with because Boeing has had a really tough time even climbing to this level. Boeing sat at 170 for a while. So you're gonna have to be patient with Boeing. But I think if you give it to Christmas, I think it'll be but Boeing will be at 275, 290 by Christmas. Boeing is something that you can put in your portfolio for the next 5 years and not ever worry about it. And because Boeing right now, still to this day, has a 5-year backlog on orders, so they could shut down their doors today and still be producing for 5 years. That's That's what you want to hear when you're investing into a company, that they're not going anywhere.
And the
I mean, Boeing
minimum,
is not going anywhere.
this question keeps getting asked. The minimum to borrow on your stocks is 2,000. You just need to have $2,000 of stock, and then that you can borrow up to
Yeah,
like $1,000.
the minimum of your portfolio size with the brokerage has to be 2,000. They won't even offer you a margin account with under than that. And that's just, I mean, they're at that point you're starting to build up a decent account, and that's not a lot, guys. I don't know who's out there that can't afford to put $25 a week into their portfolio. I mean, you could be on margin in a year and a half with just $25 a week, and I think you guys can do even better than that. So you'd be surprised how some small little investing can really it may seem like, oh, that's a while, but I mean these things add up, and once you can get to that level, it'll really change your investing game for sure. How is it a good idea for Dean to buy Coinbase at IPO? Don't most stocks usually crash? Listen, I don't know about his
I bought
experience
one
with
share, okay? To my
Coinbase.
credit, I bought one share at 330 and I averaged in. So I've been buying Coinbase. I don't know. I think I have now 55 shares and my average price is like 257. And I'm going to keep buying Coinbase because I know it's going to the moon. Go ahead.
I I put out a video right before IPO and said Coinbase is wonderful. This is going to be great. I bought it on IPO day, and I bought it all the way down. It was Coinbase was probably the most mishandled IPO since Facebook. I don't know how long you guys have been investing. When Facebook IPO'd, it was a flop. It got screwed up, mishandled. It was a mishandled IPO. It came out at like 1:30, 2 o'clock in the afternoon on a Thursday instead of 11. They publicly came out and said the institutional price was supposed to come out at like 280, and they decided to jump it up like another 100 something bucks or whatever. So people now, you guys have the advantage of being the investor now, the retail investor is more informed than ever before. So when they put that out and people realize, here's the institutional price, you want me to buy it right now for this price? I think people just kind of gave the middle finger to the institution, like, no, we're not paying that price. I still believe in it long term, but I mean, I even screwed up Coinbase, so I don't blame anybody for screwing up that. And it's actually, I wouldn't say most stocks crash after IPO. 30% of IPOs fail day one. But I think 10% of those recover by day 5. So I mean, IPOs are tricky. I mean, it's a stock that's coming to the market, and it's a baby. It's a baby. Nobody knows what to do with it. Nobody knows what to think about it. It can be tough. 2020 was a little different. IPOs on 2020 were a steal, and you could sell them 5 minutes later to somebody else, and they were a steal. Now it's a little bit more traditional. There's too many of them coming to the market, and you just gotta be careful with them. Do your homework.
What about Roblox? That's been one of my best stocks I've bought. I wish I bought more.
Dude. I'm so mad I sold Roblox at 87, dude. I never would have thought it would. I'm telling you, this stock continues to impress, and I tell people too. I still haven't figured out what it is. I keep forgetting to look into it, but there's something that Overstock and Roblox have a connection. And if you watch Overstock and Roblox, they are going to ride together. I don't know if Overstock owns a piece of them or something, but if you like Roblox, watch Overstock as well, and you can get a little exposure there somehow. I haven't figured it out yet though, but I do love Roblox. I wouldn't pay 100 for it though. A little too much for me. But man, this thing just continues to impress, dude. I mean, it's done really, really, really well. I mean, the last 3 weeks. I mean, it was up near this level and then pulled back to like closer to like 79 or whatever. Should have got in, and I didn't.
What about Pelosi? I heard, because I actually bought Roblox because I heard Pelosi bought it, and like whatever Pelosi bought.
Yes. No, dude, it's true. And that's why I tell people, like in my audience, I'm usually live market hours. I'll take an hour off for lunch and I come back at 1 o'clock. So I'm always on live during market hours doing live trading. And I tell people, like, I'll put the news on and I'll have people, they'll comment, I don't like Nancy Pelosi. I don't like to get political. My lives are about finances. I don't like Nancy Pelosi either.
I don't think anyone.
When you guys are watching,
who likes Nancy Pelosi? Someone here. Okay, I got 40 people in my live stream. Does anyone like Nancy Pelosi? Even if you're a Democrat, you don't like her.
But the point is, like, when you hear the president talking, like, you hear people like that, and they're talking about the stock market, it's gonna move more. Like, that's you should be paying. If you're an investor, if you want to be an investor, and you're watching the news, you should be able to train your mind now. Like, what are they? How can I relate what they are saying now to the stock market? It may be a war. It may be infrastructure. We made a play when Joe Biden keeps talking about railroads. I told you on the last, like, we're gonna pick up rail. We made 12% on that. You know,
I
like
think
Joe
there's
Biden went to the Ford factory. We got Ford. Like, if you're watching politicians, you should be paying attention to what they say and what they're buying.
I think there's one thing that Democrats and Republicans agree on, and that's endless war. So we'll always have endless war in random countries. The only other thing they agree on is that no one likes Nancy Pelosi. That's the
Yeah,
only
I'm
other
getting
thing they agree on.
I'm
Endless
getting
war.
I'm getting I'm getting the Nancy Pelosi's a POS for sure. She's just I don't she's just she's been in politics for so long, and like I've heard you talk about it before, like these back alley deals. Like, how are you in politics? And I know she came from a wealthy family, so she's a bad
Corruption.
example. But
Corruption.
politicians who make $100,000 a year, and they'll be a politician for 10 years, but they have a net worth of $42 million.
Yeah,
How did
yeah,
that happen?
yeah.
You know what I
Nancy
mean? Like,
Pelosi.
I saw
She
you
should write
10
a
years
book.
ago. Now I see you now. Yeah,
She should
write a
write a
book.
book. How
Write
do
a
you
book.
get rich? How do you become worth 50 million with a $100,000 salary?
Yeah, it should be
For God's sake, dude, the
how to
best
fuck
thing you
over
could do,
Americans.
the best thing you could do is follow Nancy Pelosi because literally she cuts all these deals in the back door, and that's why her stocks go to the moon.
But you do also have to be careful. Like, if you're sometimes, like, if you're watching, like, people, like, the other, like, Michael Burry, they like to watch, or Buffett, and they're watching what they do. A lot of that information is outdated. So you could be, so and so bought this. By the time you heard about it, it could already be sold. So just be. It's good to have those types of things in mind, but you should also put other components of information to it. Like, hey, she bought Roblox, but let's look at Roblox. Like, as a company, how they had a great earnings too. So it's like you don't want to just follow anyone blindly because they bought it, because that information may be as much as 30 days old, and they could have already sold it off.
She's
So just
so
be careful.
corrupt. If even if the company was bad, she would figure out a way with all her like corrupt connections to make the company profitable.
No, I'm telling. Do you know what I did when I realized that Joe Biden had won the presidency? I started buying, like, what I call old lady stocks, like Coca-Cola. Look at the growth on some of the stock. I was like, Joe Biden. I tried to think of, like, Obama. What stocks were doing well? What would Joe Biden be invested in? And sure enough, there was a ton of just what I call, look at GE. All of a sudden, just popping up out of nowhere. We're sitting in nine forever now. I bought quite a few stocks I call, like, old lady stocks. So, and just on a hunch, like, hey, what's going to pop under a Joe Biden administration? So like I said, you can feel however you want to feel about politicians, and I respect everybody's
Or
opinion.
like, did he win the
But
election or did he steal the election?
listen, we're gonna get kicked off TikTok. You start saying stuff like that. That might be a TikTok ban, buddy. Be careful.
Yeah, I'm not
The
gonna say
the
anything. No
better.
comment.
No,
No comment.
you know what the better conversation is that needs to be had is this freaking Dr. Fauci. You see the stuff that's coming out with him now? He swore to God, to Congress, forever. Oh, the coronavirus came from a bat. Donald Trump came out, who was the president at the time. It came from Wuhan, China, and he worded it very
Get
poorly.
money.
I didn't like him saying like kung flu, and he made it seem like it was the Chinese people. But there was a lab there. Now, he said for years this thing came from this lab. Dr. Fauci said no. Now it comes across, there's an email that they were doing. What is it called? Something gains for something. They have a lab over there that Dr. Fauci is third party funding, where they were taking the COVID virus, manipulating it so it would attack humans, and now he's been denying it for months. And this thing came out last week, where it's like, yeah, he knew what they were doing there. He was funding it. He's been lying to the American people for many months. Really screwed up stuff, dude. If you see Dr. Fauci, punch him in the face for me. He's a
Yeah,
fucking idiot.
yeah. Dude, one of my favorite comments is like,
Gain of function research. Thank you.
we need to invite the guy from North Hollywood back on here. So I had this guy from North Hollywood come on my TikTok. It was so entertaining.
Really? Was he
He's
like a
just like the
hippie or?
typical like woke liberal, like super woke. And to be honest, like
I'm a moderate, but I live in California, so I feel like because I live in
Yeah,
California, I'm more left than right, even though I am a
yeah.
moderate. But this guy was just so left, and I'm like, dude, like get away, like you're like ruining our country.
I no, I tell people I don't think it's healthy for you to be very left. I don't think it's healthy for you to be very I think most people are somewhat down the middle on
Most
most things.
Americans,
I
yeah,
think people are loving. They are caring. When
yeah,
you start watching the freaking news every day, that should warp your freaking mind. And
it
you will
does,
believe.
dude.
I tell people, why
You're
don't you just go
dividing.
outside? Go outside and look at America. Don't watch the news to see America. Go outside in your own neighborhood. You will see the America that is your reality. And I think it's dangerous, dude. And I wish that more people would just have conversations about things. Like if you want to tell me like this, that, or the third, great, make a point to me. I'm willing to listen to you. I just don't like when people yell and scream or like you're this or you're that, because like somebody will come up and say like, I loved when somebody said like Bill Burr was racist. And it's like his wife is black. What do you like? You know what I mean? So it's like people, they're so misinformed and they're so passionate about it. I wish people would just calm down and have more conversations. And like I mean, I tend to lean conservative, but
I
I
should be
don't
going to
like
the
my friends who
gym.
are overly conservative.
I should be going to the
What's
gym.
that?
I've been saying this for the last hour, but hey, we're about to hit 50 people in the live stream. So I keep saying I'm going to leave, but hey, we're
That's
hitting 50
awesome.
people.
I had a killer live the other day. I don't know what. There was the AMC day at like
You
4 o'clock.
rejected
Like
me.
hundreds.
You rejected me
What's that?
the first time
Did I
invited
really?
you. Yeah, I invited you to do a double host, and you rejected me because I'm like, oh, he's
Oh
too
my bad.
cool.
No, no, no. You know what it was? There was so many people. I probably didn't even notice it was you because I've never not welcomed you onto my lives. You know you're always welcome on my live. But there was so many people that day. It just kept popping up, and I was just vibing. I was having a great day. It was really awesome.
What
The,
website do
we,
you
the,
go to follow where the politicians buy this stuff? I know there's like a government website you can go to. Do we know?
yeah, I have it written down downstairs. I'll have to. Damn, I don't want to go all the way down there. Hold on. Bring that up to me again. I have the exact
Yeah, that
website,
was a good
and
question.
it's
Thank you for that question. But I'm sure if you
yeah.
Google, you can find it on Google too.
Yeah, it's but there no, but there's a specific, and be careful because you want to make sure that information is accurate, particularly if you're going to make investment decisions on it. You don't want like some fake one or one that's been manipulated or
It said
you know what I
Open
mean?
Insider, so maybe Open Insider, but
Okay,
yeah,
maybe
check
yeah.
it
So
out.
I have it written down. I have it on my computer. I can just pull it up in my history, but like I said, I didn't even expect to come on TikTok today. I just saw you guys talking. Somebody's on there talking about like foreign
As soon as
currencies and
we
stuff,
rip
and I was like,
Pelosi,
I
though,
got to.
okay, low key, as soon as we rip Pelosi, my live stream blows up. The TikTok algorithm
Yes,
is
sir.
like,
Keep
oh,
it.
he's
Okay,
ripping
so sorry. So
Pelosi.
let's talk Pelosi. Wait, listen. Guys want to talk Pelosi? You want to talk conspiracies? And listen, I can listen. I'm not.
No,
This
because
is
we're good
not.
at stocks. We're speaking the
The
truth. Whatever stock
crypto
Pelosi
crypto
buys.
sucks. Crypto sucks today. The stock market's closed. We can do something different today. Open Insider. Thank you, Casey. Yeah. So let's check out. We'll check out Open Insider. Awesome. It's wait. The far left owns MSN. That's why I don't watch. I am a conservative. I tend to lean conservative on
Tell me.
many issues.
I would say I'm a moderate or center left, but not like a corporate sellout like Biden. And so,
But I just
I'm
it's
also
for
a real
me like
estate guy. I have,
I like the fact that people can own guns. I don't necessarily think that I don't necessarily agree with abortion, but I understand why it's legal. So like for a lot in my own circles,
most
people, well,
people
you're not a
that are
conservative, you know what I mean?
left,
Or this,
they don't want
I just
abortions. Like, we don't want abortions when it's like 6 months. You know what I mean? Like, there
right,
should be
right,
a
right.
limit,
And
you
I
know?
understand it's a tough conversation to have, but a
Yeah.
lot of people aren't they're not willing to have the conversation. And I don't like how even in my own group of friends, I've had to leave some friends like 2020 and COVID exposed
Oh, no.
exposed a lot of people to me where I'm like, hey, like, like if you're not okay with me having my own opinions on different, I'm not going to agree with everything you say. We can still be friends. If you don't want to be my friend
Yeah.
because I don't agree,
That's
if I
what
don't, if
America's
you
about. Free
like the
speech.
left is like that now too. Like if you're not for, trans rights,
Hey,
gays
you're
rights,
racist.
this one, Black
You're
Lives
racist.
Matter, you're right. And it's like,
You're
wait a second,
racist.
why do I have to agree with everything that you say in order to even have a conversation? Or it's not healthy. Like it's really not healthy as a person.
I
Right?
think,
And
though, here's the deal.
Pelosi is one that
It's the
like
corporations that
Pelosi and the
want this.
government, they push that shit.
So the corporations outsource jobs to China, not immigrants, right? So like in a way, it's really the corporations because remember they get richer, right? The more the poor people are divided and they fight each other, the richer the corporations get. So in a way, and the media does this too to make money off you. They want you guys to fight, so you click on their links and they make money off of you guys.
I think it's incredibly unfair for a company like Coca-Cola to have to say I don't believe that anyone struggles as much as they think in America. You know how I know it? Because you can open up a Robinhood app and follow me on TikTok, and I'll show you how to make money. I will show you how to get out of the hood
You
right
turned it
now.
what? Show me your background.
Give me 6 months.
Show me your
What's that?
background. The background. You turned like $300 into like $1,200, right?
Oh yeah, no, we did our account is doing very very well. We've done really really well in this. So I think that in America you have a ton of opportunity. I
Yeah.
don't like companies like
Class
Coca-Cola
is more of a
saying that
problem than
America
race.
sucks, but they won't say anything about China where their stuff, doing their bottles are manufactured there. They won't say a word about a Chinese government that is really 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 shitty to their people.
And
You
racist.
want that's
People
communism.
in
That
China
racist.
are so
Right.
racist. Okay, so
Like
Andy told me this too. Like Andy told me that the African consulate got mad at China because like during coronavirus, I guess there was news in Chinese media saying that like black people are starting coronavirus. And then the consulate, right? The embassies of Africa were like, "Hey, like China, why are you publishing racist stuff?" Like they don't do that in America. We don't publish stuff saying that Africans are bringing coronavirus. Like it's crazy the
dude,
Chinese people are.
if you were in China on TikTok saying Nancy Pelosi sucks, people would be knocking at your door by now. Hello, we heard you saying Nancy Pelosi sucks. You want to come with us? Actually, you can grab your mom and your 4 kids too. We're all gonna go for a little walk. It's true, dude, and that's why I don't. There's a lot of companies like I won't. I have a hard time investing in Disney right now. I do own some Disney shares, but I have a hard time investing in Disney because of the fact that they want to be involved with a lot of really, really. I think it's politics that's exclusive, like it excludes people, and I don't like that kind of. I don't like that kind of stuff from a company. I think it's poor management.
Yeah, but it's crazy. I really, really hope people like figure it out that like, the media makes money. This is all just the hustle, so they make money off you guys.
No, I think that people have to understand that most people are good people. Most people are kind-hearted people. That everybody is not against you. And I think the more you just say hi, good afternoon to people, hello, how are you? And ask them like if they say I feel this way, why do you feel that way? Help me understand the reason that you feel that way. And instead of like, yelling at people or, telling somebody like it's really hard for a farmer in Idaho to understand what living in Harlem is like. You know what I'm saying? So
That's
have
true.
conversation. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's hard for
What about
the person in
TikTok?
Harlem
I,
to understand the farmer.
I feel like TikTok makes it easier for us to connect, and like I
It
don't like
does.
living in my California bubble. Like that's why I like having live streams with people that don't live in California, so I'm not in my California bubble. I like having people with opposing thoughts because then you can have an intellectual discussion.
Right. And I even say that when we talk about finance. A lot of people didn't like Nerd Finance's opinion. I'm like, well, if you feel so strongly about what you feel about, you should be able to have a debate with that person and form a counter argument. You should. I don't want to hear from that guy. He's stupid. No, he's a very educated person, and everybody has value. Talking to people. I know quite a bit about a lot of the stuff I talk about. I still come on TikTok and learn from. So I don't know everything. Once you, and particularly with the stock market and cryptos, it's an evolving game. If you're not evolving with it, you're going to get left behind. You know what I'm saying?
Wow, this is a good comment. We need an equal flat tax. You're so right. With all the deductions and all the loopholes and like Amazon not paying taxes for 10 years, if
I
we
don't
had a
want
flat
flat
tax,
tax. They need to get rid of the loopholes. Is
yeah.
what they need to do.
Actually, I don't know. Then I'd have to leave California. If they get rid of the loopholes, I can't live in California anymore.
Have to leave California anyway, buddy. They're
No,
dying,
we have a
encouraging
governor.
people.
Have you seen my content? I'm helping and it's a Democrat that wants to get rid of what's his name? Newsom. So
Gavin Newsom.
He wants to drop the
buddy.
state tax to zero for anyone that makes less than 250. So imagine that. How many people would love to come back to California if you don't pay any state taxes your first 250?
Maybe. Yeah. I hear Kim Kardashian's stepfather or
Yeah,
stepmother
Jenner, but that's
wants.
more of a joke.
Yeah.
She's not serious.
No, I think
Is
it's
it he or
serious.
she or what do I say? He, she,
I don't.
she.
I don't want to. So I'm not trying to intentionally. I'm not making fun of this person or by any stretch. I'm just, that I know that they were considering actually running for governor.
Yeah. But Newsom's got to
Thanks for
go. The homeless, I can tell you this as a Californian. Every year Newsom has been in power, the homeless problem has gotten worse. And he's not doing anything.
Dude,
He's making money on it. He's cutting backroom deals. And the people that give him money, so
Cuomo's no better here, buddy. You can have Cuomo. You want Cuomo? You could have Andrew Cuomo. I would almost rather have Newsom than Cuomo. No, but you're right, dude. They have ruined California in general. Like politics have ruined California. California is an American paradise, and they have
fifth
destroyed it
largest
and make it.
economy in the world. We're the fifth. We're bigger. Our economy is about to catch Germany. Like we're not that far away from catching Germany. We're bigger than London. We're bigger than France.
California as a state is the third largest economy.
Yeah,
and the globe. They could sell the U.S. and be just fine.
Come visit me in LA. I really hope you do. It looks like a third world country. We have a bunch of homeless people. Like not where I live, thank goodness, but where you can like visit. It's crazy.
I didn't believe it, and I don't know if like pictures were like being suppressed on the internet.
No, you can see it on TikTok. There's a lot of good content on TikTok to show how bad the homeless population is.
People, dude, how fucking disgusting is it? And I understand that a lot of these people have drug issues and mental issues, but how disgusting is it that a country of this size and this wealth, and we have people sleeping outside?
You know why? Because Gavin Newsom, our governor, needs to make money. He needs to cut deals, so it costs $200,000 per homeless person to house them.
You see that they built? They built these little houses for people. They had a contract. They were $225,000 a piece, and it's basically the size of my kitchen with 2 beds and a bookshelf and a tiny window. And they charged the state $200,000 a piece for those. It's sick. It's disgusting.
And you know what? We actually have the National Guard, and they've been trained because they go into these war zones and they build shelters for refugees. We could literally just have the National Guard build tents and shelters for people in every state and get rid of the homeless people. All we have to do is declare national emergency, have the National Guard come in, build tents, have some porta potties, and then there's not people lighting. Properties in California are being lit on fire because homeless people, they try to have fires outside and then a building catches on fire. Literally, all we need to do, and this is why I support, if you guys want to know who I support for governor, his name's Meet Kevin. He wants the day one. Like, we don't need a 5-year plan to get rid of homeless people. He has a 60-day plan where we call a national emergency, the National Guard comes, and they just build tents everywhere. And you cannot now sleep on our streets and light buildings on fire. And by the way, women get raped. The women that are sleeping outside, they get raped. That doesn't happen anymore. You go to a homeless shelter, you go sleep in a tent that costs like $50,000. It doesn't cost more than $50,000 to house, 500 people. You just build tents.
They have people sleeping in front of businesses. How do you have a running business and somebody has a tent pitched outside? But the problem is too, though, Dean, you have to remember that they need like social workers. A lot of these people need medications. Like a lot of them need drug help. But it
starts with a place to stay. You cannot have a tent, outside.
Home base. Right.
And then you're lighting buildings on fire, right? Like, I can understand because the judge made an order where it's like, look, you guys can't kick these people out because they need to have a place to stay. And that's the only reason they can't move homeless people. But if they had built an area for homeless people to go, then you're not going to have women getting raped. I mean, we have women getting raped on our street because we don't have a place for the homeless people to go.
Right. Which is disgusting because I know that
California doesn't smell like piss. California doesn't smell like piss. Only if you go to Skid Row.
Some of those streets, though, they have to, dude. I'm seeing reports like people, they have these skin diseases, I don't know what they're called, but it's like, because they're constantly in contact with each other, it's spreading more and more disease. Like you said, things like sexual assault, robbery, drug use. It's sad. I mean, my heart goes out to somebody like that because I would never want to be in that position. And then I see both sides. I see the business guy who's like, I don't want to have this person
Yeah,
sleeping outside of my.
hey, can we do this? Because like, you know how we have this border wall issue? Can we just take the homeless people and be like, yo, we're gonna pay for a vacation in Mexico. have like a have like a fiesta.
Dude, that's what they've been they've been taking like people who go for like social services in New York City. They're like, do you have family like in Florida? They'll buy them a bus ticket just to get them out of there and go be somebody else's problem. That's not addressing the problem though.
Yeah,
These people need help. I don't
yeah,
want to get rid of the homeless. I want to get rid of homelessness. Like
yeah.
those people probably if you said, hey, we can give you somewhere to stay for a little while, let's get you some mental help, let's get you a job. Those people could have a shot in this world again. It's hard when you can't fucking wash your hands, wash your face, have a quality meal. A lot of that is just these people have lost their sense of worth,
But so
their self-respect.
why do we build like the $5 billion aircraft carrier that you can basically shoot down with a $10 million missile, but then we don't want to like address this issue because we do spend a lot of money on like really wasteful stuff that lobbyists,
I have,
obviously.
I have, I have Casey giving me a similar comment here. We send billions to other countries, and there's value in that. I know you don't like the
Like
military,
Israel, 8
but there's
billion.
that. What's that?
We give 8 billion to Israel, and they're the second best like military. Like, why are we still giving them money? Their military is better than Russia and China. Like, if there was a war, Israel probably could beat Russia and China. Low key,
Yeah,
that's how powerful Israel is.
they have one of the most advanced militaries in the world.
Yeah,
But you don't
so
want
it's true with
there's
Israel.
value. Like the fact that America is so technologically advanced in warfare probably prevents a lot of wars. You have to like you might see it's a waste, but there is less war in this world because they know Uncle
Why
Sam
don't
could come
we
by.
why don't we do what the Chinese do, where instead of like building that $5 billion carrier that like literally becomes worthless in 2 years, why don't we do the loan sharking? Why don't we? Because like the problem we have immigrants. The reason people come to our country is because we put in power corrupt dictators that ruin the other countries, right? So if we invest and make those countries better, like China, and do the loan sharking stuff, our trade becomes better and less immigrants come to America because their country isn't in ruins. Because a lot of
I
the
could
immigrants
I
that come, like the reason my parents left Iran is because America and the British, the CIA, they got rid of a democratically elected leader in Iran because the guy wanted to basically nationalize oil and give it to like the people. And so they get rid of him. And then basically a bunch of Iranians leave that country because we have the crazy jihadists that like take over the country and make it crap. And like that's not the only country America does that to, but like when you go to a country like Syria, right? We got a bunch of immigrants from Syria, but it's like when Obama goes and bombs Syria, you create a bunch of immigration problems when you could be loan sharking. Why are we not loan sharking instead, like the Chinese?
I would ask you the question differently. When you guys have an election coming up, whatever the election, rather than having a politician tell you what they're going to do, perhaps we as people should begin really using our voices and say, hey, you know what? You have this in the budget for the military. We don't want that. Like
Because we
voicing
don't
it,
pay the
voice.
politicians. This will never work because the problem is the military industrial complex gives more money to politicians than we do.
I don't know. I think I don't want to necessarily go into this discussion about Black Lives Matter, but those protests were meaningful. There was some change in that. You know what I mean? It's not undeniable. You
That's
know,
true, but
there's
someone
people.
had to die. I mean, that was like someone had to die.
I understand, and it's tragic. But to say that the American people don't have a voice, I think you maybe inaccurate. I think sometimes people just aren't loud enough.
Well,
And I
but
do
hold
agree
on.
that
But money in
lobbyists do.
politics is the reason why corporations get like all the bailouts. Like that's why we gave $4.5 billion to the corporations, and then like Biden was like, "Oh, I'm going to give you $2,000 and a $15 minimum wage," and both Trump and Biden were like, "Oh, pharmaceutical companies are ripping us off. We're going to fight the pharmaceutical companies," and both Trump and Biden didn't do anything. They have too much money.
I, but I I think the more people insist, the better shot you have. You know what I mean? I mean, these are I think there's an undeniable truth that there's definitely enough money to solve some of the problems we're discussing. It's not being allocated towards it.
Well,
You know,
because
it's not a
the richest people in the world, the corporations, right? They have the most money and they can legally, like Facebook legally gave $30 million to the governor of California. So Zuckerberg owns Newsom. He gave him $30 million, you know? Like, how are you going to beat Newsom when Facebook can donate $30 million to Newsom?
I mean, campaign finance reform has been a top of a conversation in politics for many years. Like I said, you have to insist upon it. You know, I think at some point, people as Americans have to get back to remembering that the government is not put there to dictate you. We put them there to reflect our voices. You know what I'm saying? I think people have forgotten that, where it's like, you know, politicians come in and you're going to do this, this, and this. No, it's our lives and our money. You're supposed to be representing us. I think people have to kind of maybe take that power back a little bit, and it would be difficult. I'm not disagreeing with that. They
Just
got each other
realize
in their
that they're
back.
dividing you. They want us to be divided so that you guys stay
Yeah,
poor and they stay rich. Stay
that that
divided and
that,
stay poor.
that most people are so cash strapped that they wake up at 7 a.m., they go to work at 9, they come home, they have dinner with their family, they bang their wife, they go to sleep. They don't have time to worry about the bigger picture. Well, their job is the bigger picture. And the more people are arguing on TikTok about racial divide and arguing about this and arguing about the end, all this stuff, that's just time out of your day that you are not focused on getting them out of power or reducing their power. Or so divide and conquer has been a time-tested strategy.
Yep.
To be honest.
Yep. The Romans did it. The Romans did it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so what's hilarious is our automation and robots was slaves. The Roman Empire, as they got bigger and they got more slaves, the common Roman got screwed, and then the few Romans that had the huge plantations, which are like the Google, the Amazon, the Facebooks, they became richer and richer and richer. And so as Rome progressed and became a bigger and bigger superpower, you just had a few Romans that had all the money, and then everyone else was just dirt broke.
But don't you think though, here like in the last, haven't you seen more people being willing to take that power back? I mean, there's a big issue right now with employment. And you know, they have a lot of companies saying we're offering this wage now. And people are like, we're not going back to work for less. There is empowerment in that. You know, I think people are starting to see that they do have a different value than perhaps they've been told.
We need to bring the jobs back to America. Like, it's a joke that we had all of the pharmaceutical stuff in China. Like, we rely way too much on outsourcing. And
Absolutely.
Our government is corrupt in this. And like, I don't know why we are not fixing this issue, because we shouldn't be outsourcing as much. I mean, we can do some.
The label made in the USA doesn't matter to most people. The price tag does. You know what I'm saying? So it's like there has to be some sacrifice.
You gotta buy in America. I would rather have and that's why I'm a minimalist, because I would rather buy one high quality shirt made in America than 10 knockoffs in like China. And like, I don't want to create pollution and waste. Buy in America, guys. Buy in America. Buy Etsy. I love Etsy, the stock, because it's made in America.
Even buying a Ford car, it's manufactured in Mexico. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, even you think you're buying American, it's not necessarily the case.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah, you're right.
It can be very difficult. You know what I mean? And
that's why I bought a Ford. You're right. I bought a Ford, and then my friend brought this up. It's like, oh, by the way, your Ford is made in Mexico. I bought a Ford thinking I was buying an American car, but it's made in Mexico.
It's true. So they make it difficult for you to make decisions that are based on your philosophy or based on, you know, your beliefs, because there is a lot of even if the car is manufactured here, the components of the vehicle are manufactured in India. The microchip is manufactured in Taiwan. You know what I'm saying? So it's like they're not small problems. Like I said, I just always tend to tell people I think they're problems worth talking about if you have conversations about them and not yelling at each other about them, you know?
Yeah, you guys have a lot of questions. So a lot of people have questions on this Interactive Broker. I'm going to go ahead and post my live stream on YouTube. And if you go back, because remember when I first got you on this live stream, we went over a lot of this. So if you have questions about the interactive brokers and the loans, I'm going to post this video on my YouTube channel, and you should be able to find like a lot of the questions that you have. But I'm going to actually get going. So maybe you can do a part 2. Jump on his live stream if you guys are still interested on learning about how to do the line of credit. Jump on his live stream and you can ask him. But you need to get an interactive brokers and test it out. So you need to
Yeah, I'm gonna
eventually
start
do that.
because like I said, I have so many brokerages I use, but I do like to have an understanding of what
Spencer,
other people.
isn't that
They
amazing?
do have, yeah.
Because like the main thing is I'm right now borrowing $66,000 and it costs me $36 a month. Like that's just amazing to be able to borrow for so cheap. Now I know what a big corporation feels like. Now I know what Apple and Amazon do. No wonder they're so rich.
If you guys have questions about margin, if you want to jump over to my live, I'll stay on for a few minutes. I didn't intend to come on today. If you want to jump on here and shoot some questions, I have like 15 or 20 minutes that I can give you. I'll grab a piece of paper and pen and we'll try to
And
break this down for you
if
guys.
you're the type of person that you need to pause and like go back, just go back to my YouTube channel and I'll post this video as soon as I get end this live stream. So if you can't do the live stream and you're too busy or whatever, check out my YouTube channel. I'll post it on my YouTube channel, and then that way you can replay it and rewind it as much as you want. But can someone type out his name? People want his name. Can you type out stock? It's Stock Market Daddy. And someone here
So,
before I leave this live stream, can someone type out his name so people can follow him? It's
all
at
right, Casey.
Stock Market Daddy. I mean, it's how you would spell it. Stock and then market and then daddy. Literally, not that
Yeah.
hard.
Good afternoon, Casey. I'm actually currently right now near Binghamton, New York.
Yeah, he did Stick Market Daddy. He did Stick Market. It's Stock Market Daddy. Type it out one more time. It's Stock Market Daddy. There we go. Okay, guys, I'm gonna head out. So hopefully he'll answer your questions. If not, I will do another live stream. So don't worry, follow me. I will for sure do another live stream, and then check out my YouTube channel. And we're gonna get everyone. The goal is to help everyone here borrow at 1%. But you don't start out at 1%. You start out at 2.5%, and then you build up your portfolio. You get to $100,000, and then you can borrow at 1%.
Gotcha. Yeah, if you guys want to jump over here, we can talk about. Oh, you're in New York City. Okay, Dean, I'll talk to you maybe tomorrow. We'll talk a little bit. Now,